Boom. We're back with another episode of the Role Models Podcast. Today we got a few guests with us. We're doing something new, trying something out. Never done this before, but it's interesting to see the amount of people and the level of wild we're probably gonna see tonight. I'm looking at the faces right now. I'm like, we got some interesting people in the house. So we're gonna introduce ourselves. We're gonna start this way, starting from my man over here.
All right, so I go by DJ Z Scratch. I work in Toronto nightlife. Holla at me if you trying to turn up.
You already know, man. We always trying to turn up. Come on.
Hey.
And we got.
I'm Randy. I go by Goldenrandi on Instagram, also Golden Glamour.
Okay. We're done, no? Who we got?
I am Kellya. I go by Kellya __ on Instagram because everything else was taken. I'm an artist.
Okay. If you don't know me, I go by Prophett, music artist, podcaster, entrepreneur. You don't know?
I'm Yasmeena, and I don't share my Instagram, so.
Okay. Anonymous.
Yeah, anonymous.
I'm C.rowe or Crow, and yeah, I'm a rapper in Toronto.
I'm Karishma, just Karishma. I go by Karishma X.X on Instagram.
Today, we decided that we wanted to try a panel because I feel like that would be something that really like gauges different variations of ideas and opinions, and we wanted to bring you guys something more. Was a lack of better words, something more crazy. Okay, you've seen a few of that. Obviously, you remember C.rowe's viral take on a few things in one of the few episodes ago. So today we got some spicy people. Real quick, I just want to get backgrounds. Where are you from?
So I was born and raised in Dubai. Moved to Canada 2007.
Mhm.
Been here ever since. I may have gone back a couple years when this place got a little too crazy for me. But this is
what you be up to, man?
Hey man, Canada is a great place. We've just had a bunch of crazy things happen over since 2020.
True.
So when I got the opportunity to head on back and enjoy life for a little bit, I took my chances.
Like peace. That's what's up.
But Canada's home, and I'm back, and it's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Amazing.
I'm mixed up with a whole bunch of different stuff, but I'm born and raised here, and I'm Jamaican and Canadian.
Amazing.
I'm also born and raised here from Scarborough. Yeah. What else is it?
Can you give us your best Scarborough accent?
Real quick. Yeah, eh?
Oh, fine. Don't worry about when I pop out with that. Oh,
Don't cheese me.
Hey.
Okay. Scarborough in the house, represented. And
So I'm from here, and background, I'm half Indian, half Croatian.
We still gotta verify that one though.
I am from here. When I was young, I lived in Budapest, Russia, Poland, and then moved back here. And yeah, I'm like a bunch of white stuff. Irish, English, fucking Ukrainian and Polish or something. Something like that.
I'm full Guyanese, but I was born in Kitchener, and then I moved to Mississauga for him.
oh wow, you're flying things out.
Flew her out from the Kitchener airport, fam. $45.
Hey man, come on. Fly to within Canada or nothing. It costs more to go from one part of Canada than it costs to go
Sometimes,
to
yeah.
Yeah,
I seen you to get to Halifax. I'm taking a flight to Halifax for the Roni show. It's like $140.
Oh, yeah.
But to fly to Edmonton was like $1,200.
What?
It's like the fuck,
Yeah.
about
Bro, let me tell
$1,200.
you, to go to Windsor costs more than it goes to Vegas, bro.
It's
And
ridiculous.
that's why Canadians don't go anywhere else
No,
but Toronto.
there's nowhere to go
outside of
anywhere.
Canada.
Yeah, there's also.
Where are you
yeah,
gonna go
where
anyway?
True.
Go see the mountains and
Hey
Vancouver?
man.
Oh yeah,
Banff-
what's
Banff
wrong with
is
the
fire.
mountains?
No,
I like
it's good,
Banff,
it's good.
but like for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like tropical
It actually
stuff.
was really nice.
Canada's at the top of the list of like most expensive places to be right now. I just
Yeah.
saw something.
Yeah.
And I
like that
can't
on
wait to
Instagram.
get out of here.
Yeah. Amen.
It's not even a luxury expensive. It's just
It's just expensive.
Yeah.
Why is milk like $10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is lettuce $30? Why can't I afford lettuce for my tacos?
All right, man. Catch a flight, go to Mexico. It's cheaper over there. They don't know. But that's crazy though. Like I remember like when I moved to Canada, like some 11, 12 years ago, like everybody wanted to come to Canada. And it seems like now like it's all like different. Like everybody's trying to leave.
Yeah.
That's exactly
And people
what
used to
it is.
speak so highly
Yeah.
of Canada too back then. Like, you know, it was actually like the place to be.
It's the Canadian dream.
It actually was a dream. It was
Yeah,
nice
it
and
was.
everything.
Politicians.
It's
Yeah.
A lot of
has
young people.
drove us into the dirt.
But a lot of young people have not voted, and that's a big thing. Like a lot of young people
Yes.
don't actually pay
No.
attention to anything other than social media and TikTok and all kinds of fuckery. But people don't pay attention to
Yeah,
like
what's
politics.
actually
Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason why Canada is really fucked up right now. Is
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of the politician. That's
But I
running
mean, I
our
think what I'll
country.
tell you is
Yeah.
I think that's about to change.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
think
so.
It better.
the
If
amount-
not, it's rigged.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
No, I think
politics
it
is
has to
rigged. I
change.
know.
There's
It
no
is
way
rigged.
it's gonna
Yeah,
stay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Canada.
I have never seen the amount of anger, hate
Mhm.
towards
our
government
Yeah.
Mhm.
as I have
No, yeah.
currently
Yeah.
ever.
For real, fuck you, Trudeau.
Yeah.
I second that one.
Now the podcast is
I second that one.
taken down.
Justin Trudeau, in case you're.
I wasn't talking about you.
I just wanted to say I did not say that. But fix up. I say it very nicely and very
So I did
Canadian
a
life.
different FU.
Yeah, Canadian.
exactly.
Nicer FU.
Nah, for real. Did you guys what you guys think about the eclipse that just happened? Like, some crazy shit. Like people were talking about the world was trying to end.
I think the
He has
moon.
a lot of conspiracies about all this.
I think the moon covered the sun for 3 minutes.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what happened, right?
There's been an eclipse
Scientifically,
before.
That's about it.
Scientifically.
I heard a lot of shit that was gonna happen and it didn't.
I know.
This isn't the first eclipse, so
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
We missed it. We were sleeping.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
All right,
People
well,
were paying thousands.
I feel like
I know.
Trust.
And they were sleeping.
I had something better to do.
I knew people would get videos of it. I was like, it's fine. There's
Trust,
videos,
yeah.
pictures
Yeah.
after.
Also, it was so cloudy.
True.
You saw like a little
Yeah.
crescent, and that's it.
Interesting. So, I feel like personally, I didn't really give a fuck. I was out in Miami having a great time. Funny story, I was actually coming back to Toronto on the day of the eclipse, and I was thinking like, hey, like how are you gonna fly the plane like if everything?
Yeah, it's kind of
Bro,
fucked up.
that's
there.
scary.
you know,
That's what I was thinking when I saw the planes. in the
Taking a
sky.
flight on that day, were you not scared?
I wasn't scared, but I was like kind of wondering like, are they gonna have to postpone the flight? Or,
Yeah.
like, but
yeah,
They're like-
Prophet. Have you taken a flight at nighttime before?
I have, but never a flight.
That's what
That's
it's
what
like.
it's like.
You
I've
flew in
never-
an eclipse, brother.
I've never taken a flight when there's a celestial event happening. Okay, that's a little bit more freaky. But they're telling you like you got to put on glasses to look at it. Now you're up in the sky. I didn't have glasses. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like it would be
Close the
crazy
window
if
thing.
I'm
Yeah.
closer to the
Just don't look at it.
There would have probably been an announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to ask you right now to close all the blinds in case you don't want to get blind.
Yeah.
But that would have been crazy.
I
still.
looked at it.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
looked at
think
it.
I don't think there's a problem with looking at
Listen,
it.
you looked at it, it was cloudy as fuck. You couldn't see
Yeah.
The only reason, literally, the only reason they say not to look at it is because you would look at it for longer than you look at the sun because it's only a little bit shut.
So
like,
it's too much like UV in your
Yeah.
eyes or something.
Yeah.
He was
Mm.
telling me that people are doing like witchcraft and everything that day.
Oh yeah.
So I was determined to do like a love spell on him, and I was gonna,
I already asked her to marry me like 2
I
weeks
know,
ago.
like what else could you need?
just so
right?
it's for sure forever, So.
Keep it locked in.
But I was
It's-
asleep, so I
It's
missed
just
it. but
never
we're-
enough.
I
She-
collected-
she's already done
Never
spells.
enough.
on me.
Really?
Yep.
Me and my girl from
They work.
Yeah, me and my
I
girl
know.
at
Because
work.
now you're
We'll
engaged.
literally
so-
hold each other's hands at work and like sing like.
Are you being for real?
Yes.
Like
I think
if
she's
she's going
dead
through
ass
issues with
right
her
now.
boyfriend, we'll just like spin around in a circle and like say his name or something like.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, she's a witch.
Yo.
She's like a witch.
bro. Next time you gotta warn me.
But it worked.
Warn me about being
It
on a
worked,
podcast
bro.
with a
Honey,
witch.
you
Yeah.
I love that
Wait,
for
wait,
you.
wait, wait a second.
I love that for
You're
you.
telling
No,
me you're
we're-
doing all this type of shit. You mixed me a drink earlier. I didn't mention this before. I let you mix me a drink. God damn.
Yeah, you poured me a shot too. Now I'm worried.
No,
Crazy.
ultimately, like I feel like the eclipse is like a very like it can be like a scientific thing or it can be like a really spiritual thing.
Yeah.
That's why I heard you say something about
Mhm.
witchcraft and like
Yeah.
black magic. We kind of talked about this earlier. Like I feel like I was born into a Christian family and I also am very spiritual.
Mm.
And I don't know what it was about this. Aside from people being like distracted by like they call it moral panic when people put things into the media and then you just automatically are like you're scared. So everyone was saying stuff about like looking at the sun
Mhm.
and like people went all the way to Niagara Falls and booked
Mhm.
those rooms just to watch it when you could have watched it from your balcony. I get it's like a closer view. But ultimately for me, like it was a spiritual experience. I feel like it felt a little bit different. I can't really explain it.
Mhm.
It's not my place to really share my spiritual journey with the world, but
Mhm.
ultimately like it just kind of felt a little bit different. And I took the opportunity to really just like let go of certain things that I was holding on to
That's good.
and
Yeah.
kind of like prayed and just I spent the day inside just reflecting on the things that I want for myself for the year. So for me, the eclipse was something spiritual
Mhm.
for sure.
No, it's
I
nice that you
agree.
embraced it like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because it's like a supercharged new moon.
Yeah,
That's when
exactly.
you let go of
Yeah.
things and
And to each his own. Like not everybody is at that place, but for me, like I took the opportunity to just like like get connected with
Mhm.
oneself and pray and
That's
just,
nice.
manifest certain things for myself for the year. So
Wow.
you
Yeah,
asked the
that's
question,
great,
I felt like yeah.
How wholesome. I like that.
Mhm.
I like that. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was prepared for everything. Zombie apocalypse.
You was in Miami,
Yeah,
or you
man,
was coming home.
Asian.
You said
Listen,
right.
I went to Miami because I was preparing for the end times. You know what I'm saying? Like I went to Miami.
Are you
I'm
being
like, all right,
for real?
let me finish.
But you were coming back on the Eclipse day. So
Yeah,
that's
because
all
I'm like,
makes
if
sense.
something's gonna happen, like I already did everything I needed to do. I made my peace. with it.
I thought that.
Oh, you had fun in Miami, eh?
It's like before I die, I must go to Miami.
I had it all planned out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like, listen, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out with a bang. Okay? If I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna make sure these last few days count. And it did. But now, like for real, like I feel like I relate with what you were saying too, like in a spiritual way, because like how many eclipses will we ever see in a lifetime? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there were some crazy theories, Facebook,
Mhm.
WhatsApp grandmas sending like, messages.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My mom too.
Messages.
She told me she's like, don't cut anything on this day. Don't go outside. And she's like telling me all this stuff like not to do.
well, in like the Native American culture, they
Mhm.
don't look at the eclipse. They don't go
Yeah.
outside because they say like the sun and the moon have like a supercharged energy and they're doing their thing. Don't get
Yeah.
involved.
They say it's like evil and good and
Yeah.
it comes together and it's like it depends on who ends up on the other side. Like if you
No
actually sit down
way.
and you do like some research on like native perspective, spiritual perspective, like I spent some time prior to the eclipse just like learning about it because I'm somebody who likes to educate myself whether like I believe in something or I don't, just to kind of like
So
fill
not
myself with
ignorant
the
on it. Yeah.
knowledge and then I go off with how I felt and I felt like if I felt something spiritual, you know what I'm saying? And when I heard I watched like a little clip about a native talking about like it's like good and evil fighting against each other, and it's either you come up on the other side like in an advantage perspective or you're behind. Like
yeah.
darkness fills you essentially, and your path ahead. So
Yeah,
So
for sure.
great. That's like a beautiful way to
Mhm.
So which one's good? Which one's evil?
I think it's
the sun or
one.
the
I just-
moon?
what side do you feel like you ended up on?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's like whatever you're leaning towards in life. Like if you're looking at things on a positive perspective,
Mhm.
that's what's going to come through when the eclipse happens. If you're looking at things negatively, you're going to intensify that. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Truly.
That's
Z-Scratch, you got something to add?
I mean, for me, honestly, like the eclipse is more just like astronomical.
Mhm.
Like I've
Libra.
been,
That's a Libra.
I've growing up, I've been like super into the moon, stars, planets,
Mhm.
whatnot. Like, I know that a lot of people don't understand like how far you were from the path of like it being completely dark makes a difference. Like being in Toronto versus being in Niagara
Mhm.
was a very big difference.
Mhm.
However, the clouds totally messed that up.
Mm.
And I
Doug
mean,
Ford's weather machine.
so my plan.
Yeah,
Sucks for all those
literally.
people that made that choice.
the
Yeah.
chemtrails.
I
Yeah.
don't think like spending thousands of dollars to watch an eclipse is a smart decision.
Yeah,
No,
definitely,
that's
definitely
insane,
not.
bro. Just go in your
Especially-
backyard.
No, I
Yeah.
agree. If that's what
Especially
you wanna
with the
do, that's what
quality
you
of
wanna
the
do.
cameras, like all the cameras caught it way better than your eyes can even
True.
see it. So it's like,
Yeah.
why don't I just watch it
Watch it on
after?
CP24 or something.
I watched everything from my balcony and it literally felt like I was like watching that shit in HD. Like it was
Wow.
fucking
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, my
Like,
mom
was
seen it in
insane.
Burlington and said in
Oh, yeah,
Burlington there was like not a
Clear.
cloud.
Clear.
Yeah.
It would be really
I
cool
saw
to see
everything. I have it all in
Did you
pictures on my phone.
Did you like wear the glasses? or you
No,
looked straight at
no,
it?
I didn't try to like because I watched it from the beginning to the end. Like I started watching it from like 1:43. I kind of like
Oh.
set up a yoga mat and I kind of like sat there and I like watched everything. And like I said, I was like praying and meditating. And then I saw it go from like light to dark, obviously. And when it was like at its brightest point, I wasn't trying to look at it. But then when it went over, that's when I looked up and I saw the crescent and I was staring
That's
at it
so
at that
cool.
point. So
Oh,
my eyes
praise
were
to the
fine.
Most High.
Mhm.
Kellya,
Amen.
you got something there? She's just like, yeah, fuck what she said.
I was working at this point, so I missed the whole thing. I literally
Oh,
got
shit.
a call, and the man was taking 10 years to get off the phone, and I missed the entire
Oh.
thing. I just seen all my coworkers at the window, yo, taking pictures. And I'm just there like, courtesy, talking to the man. I was pissed. I was like, fuck, I'm never gonna see this again.
If I were you, I'd be like, you know what you just cost me?
Yeah, literally.
we should
I gotta
both
wait
take a
400
break.
years.
Yeah, we should take a
400
break.
years.
Yeah.
I
Crazy.
almost put him on hold and ran off, but I was just like, I'm not
No, I feel that. I feel that. Yeah. But hey, man, shout out to all you guys that got the up close and personal $2,000 experience. You know, yeah, man. I didn't know they were selling VIP
Solar eclipse
solar
passes.
eclipse passes. To each their own. You know. Okay, so all I really want to know at this point, y'all feel any different? Anybody got superpowers now?
Nah.
I feel like
feeling
I'm biased. I feel different because I'm engaged now. I'm like,
Oh,
Oh
feel
my
like-
god.
I'm like, oh, I'm a holy woman now. Like,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, I don't know if it's the clips or the ring, but like,
Yeah.
I'm on my
I think
better
it's
path.
both.
I think you gotta show that the ring one time. Fuck around, show
Yeah.
the ring one
Oh, yeah.
time.
Period.
Diamonds.
Mhm.
Right? Like a diamond.
Yeah, the lights are catching it.
That's
Yeah.
what's up. Congratulations. Big
Congratulations.
Yes. Yes. Aww.
And I know like a lot of people said like during the eclipse they felt like they were in the twilight zone or something like that.
Mm.
But I don't know.
Those are just
After.
fans of Twilight.
You.
Trying to make it connecting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, one of the movies called Eclipse or something.
Yeah.
That's jokes.
I feel like we definitely all like experienced it together, but our varying
Mhm.
opinions
Mhm.
is what actually makes the conversation interesting.
Mhm.
To some, it's spiritual. To some, it's like, damn, I still got to go to work.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like to
Mhm.
some, it's
Just
like,
another
oh,
day.
that's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw the sun blocked by the moon. Cool.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, and to some, it was just fuck. Like I'm asleep.
Mhm. Those are.
Yeah.
I was cheesy though. Like yeah,
I
when I
felt
got
bad
up,
for
I was
him,
like,
yeah.
damn. I really
Because
wanted
he
to see it.
genuinely wanted to see it.
I want to
He had
see
an
it. I
alarm
want to like
set.
soak in good energy, all this shit. Like I'm not crazy spiritual, but it's actually bad because I try not to be.
You are
I
subconsciously
am,
spiritual.
but like I try not to be. It's actually I don't know why, but it's just like I don't know. I really wanted to see it. I was upset for like 10 minutes.
He had a concert
It
the
was
night
cool.
before, and
Yeah,
instead
so-
of staying at the hotel, we decided to go home. So we were up to like 8 or 9 in the morning, maybe 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we just
You
slept
knocked
through.
out at that point.
Mhm.
Okay. Since you guys are engaged, which is actually a funny story. Remember the last podcast you guys were in, we actually talked about that. So those people watching this right now, it's like we come full circle.
Yeah,
It's like that
crazy.
manifestation type shit. You know what I'm saying? And you guys are engaged right now, and the only question I gotta ask is, bro, like, you're making her sign a prenup.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. No, she already knows like we're signing
Okay.
prenups. Yeah.
Yeah.
We own property together and stuff. We have prenups on our property. Like there will be a prenup in the marriage and stuff, but there's no concern.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
It's just it's
She's doing voodoo witchcraft.
Yeah,
shit.
trust.
You ain't
No,
going
it's
nowhere.
it's
You're like-
it's logistics, but you got to get a prenup.
You have to get
Like,
prenups. I'm
yeah.
getting a
I feel
prenup
that
for
way as
myself,
well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and my
It's
husband
insane,
can get one
yeah.
for himself.
Absolutely.
It's important.
Mhm.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, you have stuff from your family too.
Mhm.
Who says that should go to that person?
Yeah.
You're just
And they're-
essentially walking into it with what you had. Like,
It's a
that's-
transaction. The fact is, like, it is
Exactly,
for love,
yeah.
but it's also a business transaction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
while we're together, everything is ours, you know, everything that's mine is hers and stuff.
Basically,
And so,
what's his is ours. Yeah.
and so yeah.
What about what's yours? Is
Yeah.
that
Well, everything's mine.
Oh, so you were not joking about that?
No, I'm not. I pay all the bills.
He bought me my computer. He bought me everything I have.
Okay, in the topic of conversation, do you believe like, you know, you see all these rappers like, you know, they buy like a G-Wagon or they buy like, you know, a nice car for their girlfriend and they break up. Now, I'm not saying like you guys are, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't going nowhere. You locked in. She probably got a padlock under your bed. But, would you take back gifts?
No, never.
No,
way.
never.
You can't
Yeah,
take back
never.
It's
gifts.
insane. I love giving and I love receiving. And yeah, like I have plenty of money. If I want a car, I bought it, I'll go buy it. You know, so
Relationships like that are super toxic.
that's
Like,
insane.
if you're in a fight, you're like, then give me back this done or whatever. Like that's shot. Like
Yeah, if you buy
yeah.
somebody something, you're buying it with the responsibility that you gave it to them as a
Exactly,
gift.
yeah.
You don't get that
For
back.
sure.
That's what a gift is.
Yeah, you don't have
Yeah,
ownership
gift
over
is
that
something.
Yeah,
anymore.
like you
What are
gave it
doing with
away.
that dress that you bought me? Like you're not.
Anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or are you?
Or
Give me
like,
that
hey,
I don't
dress
know.
back.
Yeah. Some guys want money back. They'll be like, hey, then
Yeah,
send me
they'll
the
return
two,
it.
like the two
That's
like, whatever,
insane.
shit like that, you
Yeah,
know?
someone's ever asked you for money back?
No.
Like when the last relationship I was in when we were fighting, like he like brought up how much money he spends on me and then says like then you owe me money or something like that, like whatever. But like not like seriously, but like yeah, it's like fuck.
Just like to throw
And
it in your
he used to
face.
do it to his ex like all the time. Like I used to see like he'd be like she owes me like $300 for this and like $500 for this. I'm like, because you guys broke up, you want like the money back?
That is actually
It was
wild.
literally like that.
That is actually
Yeah,
wild.
Just take the
It's
L.
embarrassing to even say that out loud.
I feel like it's an excuse too. They want to like text those people and be
Yeah.
like, so what? You're not gonna give me this back?
Yeah,
or
it's to
whatever?
keep like
Keep in
the
contact,
yeah.
conversation
Yep.
going. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's like putting a rug under someone's feet and then trying to take it
Yeah.
back like, at the end of the day. And it's like a dependency. It's like sometimes people think, and I'm not gonna lie to you, some women will allow a man to kind of like put everything under them and then be able to take everything from them. When
Yeah.
they're- And like ultimately, like you're kind of in that position at the end of the day.
Mhm.
I don't really feel sorry.
I mean, yeah, like when stuff gets messy, like if you're in a legal marriage and you get divorced, he can take everything. And if that's how the relationship was, like
And I
you
mean, a
just
marriage I
have
can
to-
understand because you're married.
Yeah.
But like people do this without marriage.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
get
Just
the
dating.
I
Yeah.
get understanding like you're supposed to build something up to get into a marriage, but a lot of people put a lot
Yeah.
too much in the beginning in the relationship phase. In a marriage I can understand because you now like an engagement, you're
Because they're
you're
trying to
tied.
impress them.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you're tied. But
Yeah.
in a relationship, allowing someone to put like the entire foundation under your feet and you can't even like survive on your own, like you're kind of setting yourself up for failure if anything
if you do
was
break up,
exactly.
yeah.
And it's not planning for failure, it's just being prepared to be an independent at the end of the day.
Z Scratch, what do you think about prenups?
Prenups. To be honest, I'm not a big marriage person.
No.
Oh.
Why not?
You don't want to get married?
Yeah.
I have always wanted to get married
in a perfect
up until I probably turned like 26.
Why is that?
I've seen a lot of crazy shit in the world.
Every man says this.
DJs have
same
seen a lot
song.
though.
Listen, man.
Oh my god.
I can.
She got it right. DJs have seen a lot.
They're up on that stage. They see
And I
everything
get it.
going on.
I
They see the
do.
girls with the rings, with the bouncers, and like whatever.
You want to know a crazy
So-
story? You want to know a crazy story? Talking about you seeing shit. Like, I think something that really scarred me was I used to work at a hotel way long time ago. Like, you know, I used to work at a hotel, and like there was this time where they did a wedding at the hotel. The hotel has a banquet hall, and I was working security at the time. I was in college, and I'm doing my rounds, and I walk into these people having sex in the stairwell. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like they were like, you know, going at it. I'm like, damn, like, you know, I got a radio. They call me and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go check it out, see these people. I'm like, you guys can't do this here. You gotta like, you know, go to your room. They're like, okay, we're gonna go to our room. I go out, they leave. Like 30 minutes later, I get another radio and they're like, yeah, like, you know, same people, like, you know, they're in the pool going at it. I'm like, bro, like,
They're both married.
why are you trying to make my
It's
job
nice. They don't have a room
harder?
together.
With another woman.
All right,
Best
cool.
friend or something.
Yeah.
Listen,
With the bridesmaid.
so
That's
I
gonna be
go-
honor.
I go to the pool.
you.
I tell them, hey, listen, you gotta stop this. I'm gonna have to kick you out of the hotel if I gotta come talk to you one more time. You gotta go in your room. They're like, oh, we can't go in the room. I'm like, why? It's like, oh, there's people sleeping there. I'm like, all right, but like you can't be doing this. Like I understand, like, you know, you're having a celebration, you're drunk, whatever, but I'm gonna walk you to your room. Walk to the door of the room, right? Cool. I'm like, all right, can you open the door? You open the door. Truly, there are people sleeping. And I see this nigga with a groom's outfit. And I look at the guy that she's with. And I look at her. Turns out this woman was sleeping with the best man.
Just reverse.
The groom is fucking passed out.
Oh no.
And I
There's
looked at
some
them and
horrors,
I'm
man.
like,
They make us all look bad, but we're not all.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
we're not. We're not.
Like, do you have
That's
no shame?
Oh my God,
The
that's
way-
terrible.
Do you have
There's
no
no
shame?
on the
like-
night off.
It's gotta hurt your heart.
On the
yo.
night
I know
I
I have guilt till you
Oh,
die.
God.
Like,
No,
how
no,
could
I
you
feel like
even
it's a
do
game
that?
for them, or like it's thrill. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like there's no way that you're
No, you're a
comfortable.
sex addict.
Wait, was there people that are messed
This
up?
is your whole family and friends all in the
Yeah.
same place for you on your special day, and for you
Mhm.
to play on everyone's top like
Right.
that.
I think
Everyone
you're mentally
spends
ill.
money.
No, that's like that has to be
That's
like
what
you
I'm
get
like.
turned on from
Yeah.
trying to get caught or be
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
I,
it's a
that's the only way I
problem.
can
It's
see
a
that because
problem.
there's no
That's
way that you
crazy.
actually delusionally thought that that was okay. Like you have no boundaries.
No
that's really what it.
morals.
Yeah,
and,
that's
and here
crazy.
I am thinking, like, okay, what is my moral obligation? Like, do I wake this guy up and be like, hey, bro?
Yeah. I have to walk
You-
in.
You know what they do? They always kill the messenger.
I'm
you
not
know?
gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say too much, but I've been in a situation where I've seen certain things around, like, you know, crowds of people, and I made a mistake and said something out of a moral obligation because of how real I am, like,
And it backfired.
and it backfired on me. So, like,
It almost always
now going
backfires.
forward, I will always and forever mind
Keep
my
your
business
mouth
because you
shut,
don't
yeah.
know what people have going on in their
Yeah.
relationships and their marriages. And honestly, I really just thought like I was pissed off because I felt like you're doing this in front of me, like. Am I a dickhead? I'm not a dickhead. I have morals. Like I've been around here and I've been here for certain occasions with you as a unit, and then now I'm seeing certain things like, and it wasn't explained to me. And I know it's not owed to me, but I felt obligated to say something, and it came back on a bad end for me. And you know what? Like I wish I never did because it kind of created some issues with people that I love, and it wasn't my place. And I've learned to now I just mind my business. I'm blind, baby. I do not see nothing. I'm out of here.
It's
Go
crazy
outside.
though, because even acting like that can sometimes backfire. Because
Yeah.
then they'll find out.
Yeah.
Why the fuck
And
did
that's
that
exactly
happen?
why I didn't
Yeah.
do that. But
Yeah.
at the end, it wasn't even about that. It was just more about my moral code of being like, if this was happening in reverse, and it was me on the other side, I would want one of my people to come and tell me.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've seen both unfold. Like,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, either way, like you can never really know.
And at the end of the
Yeah.
day,
Right
like
and wrong
they'll
with
get what's
it.
coming to them regardless, whether like it's now or later. Like
And that's
It'll
why I
come
feel like I
out.
should
Karma
mind
will
my
get
business
them.
because it's
Yeah,
not my place.
exactly.
It's really not my
The
place.
universe will
It's
settle
not,
that.
It's not my place.
Yeah.
in
But
your
yeah, like-
case, so nigga, you should have been like, yo, my nigga.
Literally.
Like, you know?
100%.
Yeah, so let me tell you what was like my like end all everything with like whole views on marriage and everything. I think like my entire life I've been like that like lover boy, always wanted to be in love, relationships, whatnot. I know it doesn't seem like it anymore. But I've like always been a relationship type of guy. One girl I was dating in university. We were together for over 4 years. Wanted to get married, everything. Shit didn't quite work towards the end of it. It was very messy towards the end of it. It was almost like we broke up and like she got engaged like a month after.
What?
Yeah, yeah. Very, very messy. You know, I took it like a champ. I was like, it is what it is, whatever. Put it in my rear view mirror. Fast forward 2 years. We're in the middle of the pandemic. I moved back to Dubai, just temporarily because I don't want to be here throughout all that. This girl, married for like 2 years now, hitting me up. Like, hey, I was thinking of coming to Dubai. Like, what should I do? Whatever. I'm like,
Habibi, come to Dubai.
and I'm like, okay, haven't heard from you in a while. Like, what's up? Like, she's like, yeah, like, I don't know. I was just like, I saw that you were there. I'm like, why do you know I'm here? You're married. And whatever. She's just like, yeah, I don't know. I was like thinking of taking a trip with my mom, blah, blah. Funny story, her mom like loved me. So when she told her mom that like, oh, like Zane's there, blah, blah, blah. And then her mom was fully on board. So basically, they both flew out to Dubai and like,
What?
sure, they went on their vacation, and I was kind of very like I don't know
Bro.
how much I really like I don't really fuck with this, but at the same time, it was kind of like.
Just tell us you fucked her, bro.
Like,
what?
come on, just get to the point now.
Yo, bro.
Habibti.
Her husband's
Long
watching
story
this right
short.
now.
Long story short, she wanted to, but
You're a good
Moral
man.
code.
Good
Wow.
for you. You did it?
Did it?
Yeah, right.
You.
Amazing.
Seriously.
Amazing.
Good
Nah,
job.
he just saying
she
that
don't
for the
look like
camera.
what she used.
Oh.
Marriage life
Marriage
matter.
letter, she lost herself.
Holy shit.
Come on.
Okay.
You hear that? You hear that, honey? You don't look how you used to.
But yeah, I was honestly like,
Yeah.
my biggest mind fuck was like, your mom is so in on this too.
Yeah,
Your
that's
mom knows
Oh my
crazy.
god.
this is so wrong. Like,
Yeah.
you're literally in another country.
Her mom's fucked for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same background as you?
She's Lebanese.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
The tea is hot. The tea is piping.
So you gotta watch out for Guyanese girls.
No, I was gonna say this is a one-time experience, not every 40 years.
But yeah, like I was just like, yo, you like
What do you have to say now?
Karishma would never.
Exactly. They know
She would
me.
never.
you know what's the word? Okay, I'm not even gonna go there.
Wait.
Worse.
Wait,
we
no,
can,
we wanna
we can,
hear.
I'll talk about that off camera.
You
later.
fucked your mom.
Oh my god.
No.
I don't know.
To be continued.
But yeah, honestly, the whole thing, like her mom, like being
So that turned
completely
you off of
on
marriage?
board.
I mean, come on, a married
That was
girl
the
hitting
one
you
of-
You saw
up.
because she was married and you were like,
Yeah, I would say like that's probably formed like maybe.
Okay, what about your
60
parents? I'm just curious.
Divorced.
You don't have they're divorced?
Divorced.
And what was their divorce like? Was that hard for you as a
Was
kid?
it messy?
Or was it while you were a kid?
And
while
how
you
old were you?
adult?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was a big contribution to
It was like I want to say a very dragged on divorce. Probably took like 10, 15 years to
oh
happen.
wow.
Probably started off when I was like 14.
Oh.
When I was younger, I was all like on my mom's side.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then as I grew up, I kind of understood both sides.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, they're both crazy. Like, y'all both fucking crazy.
I think when you go through when you're a kid and you go through that,
For
like
sure.
if you've been through a very tough custody battle, I feel like that really stems on my beliefs right now too. Like that's why I don't have a baby father. That's why I don't have kids. That's why I'm not married right now. Is because this is it. Like I'm locking in one time and that's it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the older generation, they were the kind of people to stay in a marriage through everything.
No matter what. Yeah.
Didn't matter if we were getting beat, if they were
Yeah.
getting cheated on. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
That was like how things were. Now I feel like our generation,
Have more respect for ourselves.
people, we have, and which is beautiful. I think that's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's great that we are very like, we speak for ourselves, we speak and we live in our truth. But at the end of the day, like I want a long-term commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want someone who's going to fight for me tooth and nail, someone who's not going to give up on me regardless. And like bringing kids into the picture and like a lot of people, they fantasize over having kids or having this. Like I think that's beautiful. Congratulations that you guys got married. I don't know if you guys have kids already, but okay, that's what I want. I want to do it the traditional way. I want to get married.
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
I want
same,
to,
yeah.
exactly. And then I want to embark on that journey because like I feel like that's just
Yeah.
I don't know.
Best
Call
way
it
to do it.
call it
It's a
traditional.
cute. It's like a
That
fairy
is the way
tale.
it should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like literally one of the biggest reasons I did propose was because I want kids.
Not because you love me.
I want kids with you. That's what I want.
Yes. But that's beautiful. I'm happy to see that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, this is so great. So when?
Next June. Next June get married and then
And then
Then
what?
after
honeymoon,
that-
on the honeymoon. You know?
No, because I want to drink on the honeymoon. So can you like, in the fridge?
Okay, last day of the honeymoon.
If you're ovulating.
Yeah, we'll have to track it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally feel you guys are like one of those like 9 months from like the honeymoon type.
That'd be so cute. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know, right?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just taking all of that in. Marriage is a very, very important thing, but at the same time, it's such a
It's a touchy topic nowadays.
you know
People
what?
are scared of
You know
marriage
what?
now.
Because people
In
are
the-
scared of falling in love. Like,
Yeah.
What is this? I'm gonna cheat
Yeah.
on him first so he doesn't cheat on me.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
It's
know,
so
I
much
think
like,
like
yeah.
social media has a big part on it. People
Yeah.
see so much. Like, back in the day, you weren't seeing people unless
No.
you were sending pictures in the mail.
Or church.
Like now you're looking on Instagram and you see this and that, and the reality is that does not exist in real life. Like, go out and see how many people you actually see that you're like so attracted to. Like, oh my God, she's beautiful. Oh my God, he's so
And now
handsome.
we live in a world where you can
That
human
doesn't
shop.
happen.
You can just pick up your
Yeah.
phone and go human shop.
That only happens when you look on your
You
Instagram.
can find any fucking thing and anybody that you want.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
temptation.
And it's still not enough for
every
people.
second
it's
of
not-
the day versus
people
like you said,
have
postcards.
too many
Send a picture like you're in jail.
options.
Here's a picture of me. Hold that
Yeah,
down. Like,
exactly.
You know what's crazy? Like, do you want to say something?
I was like, I just want to know who was sending who pictures in the mail.
Can you imagine getting a postcard? You know, you see the picture, and at the back of it, it says, "Habibi."
Come to Dubai.
But
I think more people in jail did that.
No,
That's what I said.
I'm not talking
in
about like
jail.
20 years ago. Like we have our technology all like is going so fast right now, but when our parents were our age, they didn't have cell phones.
Yeah.
Or they had
They
like
were
those big
definitely
ass
sending
phones. Like they didn't
And
have
that's why
pictures
times
like
are
that.
different. Like
Yeah,
I feel
you
like
have to print them out and give them to
romance,
people.
that would be so beautiful.
Romance has died
If a
tragically
man
in
took
a
the
hole.
time to write me a
Oh yeah,
fucking
I write letters.
to write me a letter and send that to woman, I can see that from a woman because
Yeah.
we're a little bit more like I don't know.
Emotional.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're in
But like
touch
for
with
a
that.
man to take the time to do something like
Mhm.
that, like I'm gonna put y'all on some free game. Okay? I promise you. Like
Yo, bear man,
I promise you, she will be so surprised. Like that's just beautiful. We take
Mhm.
advantage of like the world that we live
These
in today. Like
headbands?
it's so easy for you to be accessible
Chicken
to anyone
scratch.
at any time.
Yeah, trust. We live together, and I've written letters that I just leave for
And he's
her.
very
Beautiful.
romantic.
Like I watched a beautiful relationship. I was so lucky to have parents that loved each other, got married, lost their virginities on their honeymoon to each other. Like super good. Yeah.
So
So
you grew
see,
up around love. You
yeah, I
saw
grew up
love.
around love, and I always wanted it. Yeah, yeah. It just my parents were so happy all the time, always so happy, and they weren't even not happy behind closed doors. You know, they told us when we were older. They're like, I was like, you guys never fought around us. They're like, no, we never fought. Like, we never fought. We
feel like
love each other.
A man having
Yeah.
his dad in his life
Yeah.
to show him like the proper way to treat your wife or like how he treats your
He
mom.
does everything.
Yeah, like it makes
for
such a
her.
huge difference.
Important.
Like as much as sometimes people are like, you know, I know a woman can definitely raise children on her own for sure.
Yeah.
But it's something different with a man to
Yeah.
see his dad treat women like
Yeah.
that.
And sorry, I don't mean he does everything for her. She does a lot on her own. It's just that he'll do whatever she
Yeah.
needs.
He'll do anything for
They'll
her.
do everything for each other.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
And then I see that in you. You would literally do anything for me.
I'm feeling
yeah.
right
Of
now.
course.
That was gonna say, bro. This make me emotional,
Yeah,
bro.
like-
Consider some marriage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's happiness, you know, like yo, you sometimes just gotta take the risk and like fuck dude, if you're gonna get hurt, like that's just life and like you're gonna grow from it. Yeah. But you're gonna grow from it. You know, you're gonna be so much
it's
stronger.
not the end of the
Anytime
world.
your heart hurts and then it heals, it's stronger. It's a muscle.
Jesus.
Preach.
That's crazy.
Because these Scarborough things got my heart doing workouts.
Kellya.
You know.
Hey, man.
I'm doing workouts.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for that Scarborough.
Don't listen to
Yeah,
him.
eh?
Like that.
Aw.
That's crazy.
How do you guys feel about posting partners on social media?
To each their own.
Exactly. I think it's to each their own.
Yeah,
Some
if
people
you like that.
Some people they just want to do that. Some people I think do it to look a certain way.
My thing is a no. It's a no for me, just because of like
Privacy.
privacy.
Nobody else, you know.
Yeah, once we got
It's
serious,
not
then we
about
did
like
more.
hiding, because at the end of the day, like the people who need to know will know. Like you know what I mean? Like it's not like I'm hiding my partner from the world. Essentially, it's just like I've been in a situation where I used to have my partner on social media, and I got into a situation with somebody who was like supposed to be my best friend, and she did some like shisty backdoor shit, and like reached out to like my person at the time, and like tried to like get him to like fall for her, and like just doing some weird ass shit. So for me, like anything that I love, I protect it. And by putting something on social media, whether that's your kid, whether that's your relationship, it's no different. Like you're putting that open in an atmosphere where anyone, not even just people you know, strangers, you put everything on a platform, anyone can reach that. And my platform is now open to the public which makes it even worse. I was private for my entire history, but now I'm trying to like branch out and do business. So I want my profile to be public. So I'm very choosy with what I put on there because
That's good.
you know, you open that door for people to be able to access you. And people are weird. People will study your life, study
Yeah.
certain things. They'll look at, like, we live in a digital atmosphere right now. So for me, it's a no. It's a no.
I agree with you.
So you were talking about pretty much like writing notes and love notes and all these types of things. I feel personally like there are women that appreciate that, and there are women that is very, very like, you know, it's like just it's irrelevant to do stuff like that if you're not putting money on the table, if you're not like, you know, buying that.
But those are called gold diggers. And
Yeah.
also, I just want to
You know
say
what?
that everybody
levels to
has
this.
their own love language, and you need to figure out what your girlfriend's love language is, or you're gonna fail at the relationship.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like whenever girls come on like these podcasts these days, especially girls like I've had on this podcast these days, like I feel like either y'all not saying the truth, or like that's just I'm picking the right
It's
ones to
levels
come on.
to
the
it.
you're
pod.
picking the right
Everybody's
one.
different. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
levels to it. There's the BBL baddies, there's the girls, and I'm not disrespecting
course,
them
yeah.
because I support it, sis. Do whatever you gotta do. There's like, you know, like the girls who, you know, they work the honest job, they do what they're doing. Like there's levels to it. You know
Even
what
the
I'm trying to
girls
say?
that
So-
are working the honest jobs and doing their thing could still be the gold digger
Yeah,
girls.
I was
Yeah.
just about to
They
touch on
try to
that.
get
I was
saved.
BBL
just
girls
about
could
to touch
also
on
be the
that.
girls who want the love letters. Like it's so
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's such
you
a
gotta
mixed
know who you're
bag,
dealing
like-
with at the end of the day is what my point is you gotta know who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a girl who her love language, like you said, is material things, then she's gonna expect material things out of her.
Like even if it's like
But-
fucking her favorite candy or
You know,
thing is-
you know what I think
Material
sorry,
things.
I'm gonna say something quickly and then I'm gonna shut up.
Gifts.
The
gifts.
main thing I feel like that men have a problem with is it's the girls who ask for things that they can't really do for themselves. It's like the girls who like they expect like, oh, I want you to pay my bills, I want you to
Exactly,
buy me this, I
yeah.
want you to do this, but they can't really do those things for themselves. But
Exactly.
for me, I'm a woman who everything that I have, I got it on my own. I do it by myself. I don't have a man who pays my bills, and people will look at me and they'll assume whatever they want to assume by looking at me. But everything that I have, I got it on my own.
'Cause you're
so
hot.
if you are a man and you're going to approach me and you want certain things from me, or you want to build something with me, I'm going to expect you to either come with that or come with more. Because if I want to go on a vacation, if I want to buy myself a purse, if I want to do this, like I don't want to make you feel less than or make you feel like I don't know. It can create
ego.
exactly, and it can create issues for the man because he feels like you're being demasculated because of the fact that I want all these things and you can't necessarily keep up with it.
Yeah, like
So
you have to match.
is that wrong? That's my next question for you because you're asking a question. So do you mind? Let's reverse the podcast for a second. Like, what would you do with a woman who she can do everything essentially for herself? She can buy herself purses. She can take herself on trips. Like, and she's expecting you.
Bye. That's what I do.
I thought this nigga
Peace
was
out.
He like
I know. You know.
dependent
Now,
girls.
for me, like, I feel like let me figure out like the best way to answer this question. I feel like there's nothing wrong with a woman like, you know, accomplishing things and getting her bag or being in her bag. But where it comes with, I think you're saying it has to do with ego, but no, like I feel like there's a lot of like blueprints to how men make decisions. Men are very logical creatures, right? So it's like statistically, like not a lot of women like that would listen to a man talk, like, even if like, you know, he's bringing his own thing. Like you already got your own shit. Like so, it's like how you gonna listen to a man and be like, yeah, let's move here,
How can you
let's do
lead?
this.
How can
Like,
you lead?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So at that point, it's no longer about the money. You've created some sort of independence for yourself.
Right.
So why would you listen to a man? Why? Which is what a lot of women say. Like, why do I need a man?
But here's the thing: if
You know what I
he's
mean?
matching your level, you have no reason to think.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that
The
goes back to
standards are high.
the love language thing, I think.
Yeah.
Because with her, like, we've been in a fight one time, and like for example, like we'll come back from Marble or something, and if we get in a fight, and I'll say like, I'll be like, yo, like, how are you talking to me like this? I just dropped like $500 on us at Marble, and she'll be like, bro, what the fuck? You think like that's like what I want
Yeah.
and stuff? She's like, I'd be much happier sitting here watching movies with you all night and stuff, and you know, it's like that's you really got to find out their love language, you know, like
Yeah.
and like you said, on any level, there's plenty of men that'll match those women, and if anything, be more dominant
Right,
or
and
whatever.
that's when a
Not
woman will
plenty.
submit, and that's when a woman will submit. Like you
plenty,
just said,
I'll tell you that.
if a man who's coming with
1%.
something a little bit more, like the woman will have no choice but to submit herself because you're in an authority position. A lot of women who are independent like myself, I've been put in a position to be masculine. Like I didn't, you know what I mean? I was taught and it was engraved in my mind not to depend on anybody, not a man, not anyone else, just to do what you got to do to survive. And
Is
then
that necessarily a masculine thing though?
I think that
Yeah, it
a
is.
masculine trait
No.
is to
I
provide.
don't personally
I
think
think
that.
Providing, yeah.
To provide, yeah.
Independent.
You know?
And she can make her own money and she has her own job and she can do everything for herself that a man can do. doesn't mean she can't submit, and doesn't mean a man cannot take that masculine role. Like, you can be a feminine woman and still do all of those things, because the reality is you have to do all of those things.
And you're an
What are you
adult.
gonna do if you don't have a man with you?
But
Yeah.
stereotypically, like if it dates back to, you know, caveman times.
But we don't live.
Right, but that's when we didn't have rights.
Women
Also,
fought
women
for
didn't have
rights. They fought for the ability to be.
I don't know who or why she did that.
Yeah, yeah.
The reality is, women had no rights before. You couldn't vote. You could not leave your husband if he was beating you.
Yeah.
You could be close to the point of death every time,
Yeah.
and you have no choice. So we have our rights now, and we should. And we should be able to work if we want to. But if you have the option to not,
it's
then
not. You should be able if you
So,
want to. You should.
I have a
yeah, I
question.
mean, yeah, but like if the man doesn't need you to work, then what's
Yeah.
wrong with that? If
No,
you don't
facts.
want to,
Facts.
and he doesn't need you to, what's wrong with that? But if you want to work, personally, I would want to work.
No matter
Same.
how rich
But
I wouldn't be taken care
I would
of.
also, when I have kids,
But I wanna
obviously
work.
I want to be able to stay at home with my kids. But I also want to have the option that I have things behind myself and I'm not reliant on a person.
Amen.
You should never rely on one person.
Amen.
I'm gonna be a little controversial here and say, I don't believe I've ever met a woman that likes working.
What?
But
Nobody
who
on
likes
this
working?
planet likes
Do
That's
men
why
like
you do
working?
something that doesn't feel like work.
Exactly.
I
Like
do
she
passion.
loves her
I
job.
don't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
work. I don't work, baby. I do what I love, and there's a
that-
difference
that's-
between
that's
that. I don't go to
amazing.
job and I'm miserable.
And men hate their jobs
That's what I'm
too.
saying, that's
what
Men,
I'm
men in those warehouses
Yeah.
and those
Yeah.
Amazon
Men
centers,
difference
they
is-
go home and hate
the
their
difference
jobs.
is men are not allowed to complain. You're
Exactly.
supposed to provide.
I know.
I mean,
You don't got an
There you
opinion.
go. So now you're contradicting yourself. Oh, sorry. I
Right,
thought
but also
you were
who
saying
said
that was
men
not okay,
shouldn't-
but you were
men
contradicting
shouldn't
yourself. You
be
said it
allowed to
wasn't
complain
a
too,
masculine
though.
role to provide. That's what you said originally.
It's not a masculine role to take care of yourself. That's what I'm saying. If you were in a relationship where you're the breadwinner, then you're put in a masculine
Oh,
position.
Well, the
interesting.
breadwinner
making
is
money
So
is
what is
not
the
a
breadwinner
masculine-
position? Is that not a masculine position? Is that not like
what
traditionally
he's
where that
saying.
comes?
When you're
oh,
single,
okay. Oh well, duh. You
Okay,
have
but-
to.
Yeah.
You
You
have
can still be feminine and,
And make
bring
money.
things and make money and bring things to the
Absolutely.
That's what I'm
table.
trying to say.
That doesn't take
I
away
wasn't
from that.
strictly saying when I said that like I've been
Yeah.
put in the position to be in a masculine. I wasn't strictly just focusing on the fact that like I make
Making
my
money.
own money.
Yeah.
That's not
It's
just
other
something.
Just like
Yes,
everything.
yes, just everything.
Taking
overall.
control
Like,
of like
yeah.
There, if there's no
Planning
guy
shit.
there, then obviously I gotta change the light switch. I gotta
Right.
do this.
Yeah.
I gotta, you know what I mean? I do everything as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta
I
do
mean, yeah,
everything
that's
as
true.
as
And
a
like
whole
me and my
entity.
femininity, like I will call him and be like, "This
Yeah,
is
she'll
centipede."
spray the centipede with mold remover, put a cup over it, and then call me and be like, "Hey, there's a centipede in a cup. Please kill it later." Yeah.
I mean, it's true. I live at home. I have two brothers. My brothers do things for me. I need my tires changed.
Yeah.
I need this. I need you to do that.
And
They
yo,
were
we
gonna
can do it.
But I go home and I do things for them.
But
I
yo,
cook
we
for
could
them,
do it.
I
I
bake
could
for
kill the
them.
centipede. I could
That's
do
blessed.
like
If you
whatever.
bake,
Yeah,
you're good.
yeah,
But I
right?
want
Yeah.
him to do it too. Like I like him doing that stuff for me. I don't
Yeah.
want to like kill
I have
the
a
fucking
question.
That's the
centipede.
other thing.
What are masculine traits to you then? What would you determine as what is what are masculine traits? Give me a few.
Big biceps.
That's true.
I'm gonna say driving or some shit.
a masculine. I personally don't subscribe to the opinion that we still live in those primitive times where men, where everything, like, when it comes to, like, the family, they're the providers, they're like, women out here, like, doing amazing things and, like, having businesses, being CEOs. Women wanted equality, and you got equality now. So the fact that a lot of women are complaining about it, to me, it's like, it's
That's
baffling.
not the question that I asked you.
But
Though.
no, I'm gonna circle back. I'm gonna circle back.
She's on it.
Masculinity, pretty much, is if there's a burglar that breaks in the house.
In
Protect.
specific.
Protect.
We know where this
Let
one's
me-
going.
Real specific.
You're fluffing it up a bit.
Let me
Like, I just want to
finish.
hear your boom.
Let me
boom, boom.
finish. If your man was like, honey, you're gonna have to go downstairs. Grab the bag. And you're gonna look at him like, huh?
You are
That's
a pussy.
masculinity. You
Yeah.
expect that, okay, I'm safe when I'm with my man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he got me.
Protection.
Yeah.
Even if
Okay,
like,
that's one.
Strength. That's like strength too. It's like
Protection.
strength and
Okay, right, for
protection.
I just want to say
Yeah.
one thing. So with you saying that, that's like a physical thing, but like the other version of that is like security as a type of
Amen.
protection.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And that's an emotional
Yep.
thing. So like
Yep.
them
True.
providing that as a
There's
masculine
physical
trait.
Yeah.
protection and there's emotional
Yeah.
protection.
There's
Yeah.
different layers. There's different layers. Like, masculinity is not just one thing. It's not like just like, yeah, you're strong.
But that's why I'm asking. There's
Right.
traits that go into it. So I was asking you, what are the traits?
Can I
that-
finish?
Yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear.
You see how she's already attacking me? Like, no, you
I'm
got,
not
you gotta tell me.
attacking.
You got no.
That's-
now
I
you
want
got
structure.
trait in
I want
her.
structure.
Yeah.
vision.
Vision.
the ability to lead and lead to a point where it's like where you're leading the family unit is a path that makes sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you got to have vision. You got to be able to
Right.
when people say like, a man's got to be a leader. A lot of times the woman doesn't even know what
that is.
that is. That's why a lot of women pick wrong men. And a lot of women pick men that end up being toxic or beat them up because, oh, maybe like he just has bravado. He just has like, like that, like, tough nature. And it's like, yeah, he's a real man. Like, nah, that's.
It's a show too.
It
It's
could
easy
be.
to put a cover
It
on
could be.
and present masculinity through that.
And it's very easy for masculinity to become like toxic masculinity,
Yeah.
because that's where like you would agree with me. You see how we were talking the other time in the last podcast where it's like there's a loving nature, even though you're like, very like, you can be tough, but it's like at the same time there's that balance of that like, loving and like
for sure.
that nature. It's
Yeah.
a balance. So when the toxic masculinity comes in, it's where there is no balance. It's just aggression all the time. That's why a woman would beat. That's why a man will beat up a woman because it's like you can't separate. You're just angry in that moment. Like you're just like aggression, punch the wall, punch her in the face, send her to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where that toxic masculinity comes in. You gotta have restraint.
Do you know
So-
that men possess both feminine and masculine
Everybody
traits?
does.
Exactly.
But there's already it's just like the allegory of like the wolf. You have two things. You gotta feed which one. There are
Yeah.
men that could be very feminine, and we see them all the
Yep,
time. And
yep.
there's women that can be very masculine,
Yep.
and we see them all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I felt like that was shots
you-
fired. Hello? Yeah, and then looked at me, gave me the tongue eye, like, hello?
All right, talking about JoJo Siwa. Okay?
You know, there's a lot. Just like
So I got a question for all the women at the table. So you said something like, "There's nothing wrong. Like you have no issue with a woman that does everything for herself, submitting to a man." At this table, would you honestly say, would you submit to a man that you make more money than?
If I love him,
Yes.
yes.
Because money, yeah, if I look, yeah. Money is not,
Literally.
there's not one, financial aspect is not the only factor. There's so many things that go into it.
Yeah, they could have that vibe that's just
Just because
way
you
more
make more money
masculine.
than than him doesn't mean you're suddenly more masculine than
ladies
him.
and gentlemen,
And suddenly he's the feminine one.
I call cap.
No. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. If you take away all the money right now and you're with somebody and you have jack shit, who is that person gonna be at the end of the day? That's who
Yeah.
you want to be.
Yeah.
I get not the
Yeah.
person
You
who
can't
has
look
no
at
dollars
things in
and
exact
dick
terms of-
made.
I think if you're
Down with
asking
that.
a girl who is making over $1 million a year, there's no way she'll say yes.
Yeah.
But
That's why
at our
Megan Good is
level-
not
Because
my
it
girlfriend.
can't, there's no way for that
You
to
know what's
necessarily
crazy?
work.
That's
Like,
exactly why.
I'm telling you,
It depends on the gal, though.
I'm
It
telling you,
depends on the gal.
I'm telling you that I've been with the man of my dreams and every box has checked, but when the financial was the last thing that didn't check the box,
You're like, yeah, fuck this
No,
guy.
it wasn't just fuck this though. It wasn't. It really wasn't.
was, like, upsetting.
It really fucking put me in a bind because I didn't want to have to let go of that and I didn't want to have to not be in that relationship, but because of the simple fact that it was creating issues because love won't pay your bills. Love won't. I heard somebody say something about marriage is a business. It's a when
It
you,
is.
It's a
It's a
business.
transaction.
It's a transaction. It like
Everything
you
merges,
put your
so-
your everything together. Like you have to be able to provide and make sure that you have things to support the lifestyle that you're going to grow with that family. See, each his own. Every couple is different. You know what I mean? You might be in the position
course,
where
yeah.
you can take care of your partner and you guys have come together and agreed to that. But ultimately, like for me, it wasn't working. Like I cannot, the type of person that I am and the type of lifestyle I want to live, it's going to demasculate my partner if they can't
Can I ask you a
keep
question?
up. If they can't keep up.
Can I ask you a question? Like, this is not about virality or whatever. This is like a real heartfelt question. Why do you think he was not able to provide in that sense that you needed it?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the reason, if I'm gonna be completely real, I think the reason why he wasn't able to is because I never gave him an opportunity to lead. And that was just rewinding back to what we were saying is because of the fact that I just felt like he wasn't able to because I was so used to leading and I just didn't feel comfortable with
So
the
he
way.
was dependent on you?
It's the exact
I
answer you were
wouldn't-
looking
I
for, eh,
wouldn't-
brother?
I wouldn't say.
I just wanted
I
her to
wasn't
like
say-
be
I wouldn't say that
accountable.
he-
Teed it
no,
up.
I wouldn't say
Nah,
that he
I
was
just wanted
dependent
her
on me.
to be
He was not
accountable.
dependent on me. He was able to take care of himself, but he just was not able to take care of himself
And take
me,
care of
and
your
plus
needs.
my extracurricular like.
Activities.
I'm materialistic in a way, but I'm also realistic at the same time.
It
But
can be both.
I started to feel like I was
A woman
almost
cannot be bold.
downgrading
Come
my
on.
lifestyle
Yeah,
or
to-
like
To suit his pockets.
because I loved him and I
Well,
love him and
Let me
I
ask you a
think,
question.
you know what I mean?
though.
Like
Yeah.
I honestly didn't want to make him feel like he was because he was a great man and
Did it happen?
did what happened.
Did anything that you did cause an issue where it's like, okay, like, he couldn't afford the Birkin or he couldn't afford
Yeah.
like, the Louis Vuitton and you bought it yourself and you have it, you bought it and he was like feeling that way.
No.
Right,
So
but why does that
projection.
matter? Like,
No,
I
I-
think, okay, I think it comes a problem when you have two completely different lifestyles. So if he's making less money, but his lifestyle's down here, your lifestyle's up there, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is going to be, he's not going to be as masculine. It's not realistic.
Yeah.
But like, there's things that like a man should take care of. Like, obviously, if he can't pay for dates, that's a problem. Like, it's just like basic things.
Some men will disagree with
lifestyle.
that. Some guys will disagree. They'll say like, oh, it should be. There's
But
like
it
the guys that want to go
shouldn't be.
50-50.
Yeah, but those aren't our type of men.
Yeah, it should not
Those
be.
are different type
Those,
of men.
that's a feminine man. If you
Type of
think we're
man
going
that is
50-50, when I went to dinner growing up, my dad paid.
Exactly. My dad paid for every single thing.
Yeah, I think that ultimately, like,
Although it was both their
I've
money
always-
anyway,
Y'all see
so
the
like they shared
contradiction,
it.
Or
He just-
am I the
But
only
you know, I
one
think
What's
that is
the
saying the
contradiction?
contradiction?
No, it's not a
You
contradiction,
can't
it's
have
just
an
lifestyle.
undetermined person with a determined person.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
You can
Exactly,
be
that's what
very
it is, yeah.
determined and be
Because
a
if
Depends on their
business owner.
mindset.
male
He's
partner
And
is
that's okay.
determined
Hold
or
on.
determined, that's
You
not
can be
gonna
very
align there.
determined and be a business owner, but the business you're doing is making you
You
100,000, and you got a girl that she might be semi or maybe determined as you, and she's
more.
making 500,000 just because one. Maybe like,
OnlyFans.
for example,
Bro, you cannot compete with that.
Yeah, also though,
You
like,
cannot
So it's like, would you say that the man is
No, that's
like
valid, that's
less,
valid.
or he's worth less just because he's not making
It's not
like
that you're worth
OnlyFans
less.
money, or
That's
like
But if you listen to what she just said, that's not what she said.
not
You just
that
said
at
that
all.
It's two different lifestyles are just not
people-
matching up, and that's
no
what it
matter
is.
what,
It's
even
not saying
in
that you're less
friendships.
than.
In
You're
friendships,
just in two different
if you
paths.
have a friend
That's just what it is.
Yeah. If you like to do a bunch of different things, you want to go on trips and you want to do this and you want to do that, you want to go to dinner at nice places, and your friend is like, I can't do any of that. Well, you guys are obviously not going to hang out that much.
y'all see the problem
that's
with
just how
modern
it
day
is.
society.
All right, so let me just like
I'm gonna circle back with
I
that.
don't think that's
worry.
a problem.
So-
though.
That's a problem either.
You
you
find
never
people that are
answered the
similar
question,
to you.
though.
Okay, so
The
yes,
question was, did you ever buy something? You said like, you didn't
No,
want
it
to
wasn't a
emasculate
matter
the
of me
man,
buying. No,
but nothing actually happened.
No, I didn't. There was situations where I hadn't like. It's not that I bought myself a purse and he felt like, oh, da 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 da. It was more about like me dialing back from being able to go on vacations or because he couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So you have the money to pay for it. If you paid for it, did he tell you like, oh, why would you buy
But is
it?
she
Do you
gonna
know-
pay for him?
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I did it. I
Well, you paid for a vacation for both of you?
absolutely I did.
Okay.
But I wasn't gonna keep doing
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Every single
How did you know?
Okay, here,
How did
okay.
you know? How long were
But
you
it's
with
okay
him?
to take turns.
for a long time.
Yeah.
Like
it's
how
okay to
long?
take
was
5
it?
years.
Okay, so how did you know that it was always gonna be like that? You ever see the movie Acrimony?
Well, 5 years is long enough to know.
Yeah.
that's
Like
long.
hello, 5
You
years
know
of my
after 5
life.
years.
Like
So you're telling me that you're telling me he's determined or he was determined and the whole 5 years?
when I started dating him, I wasn't looking at him for his pockets.
Okay.
I was looking at him for who he was, and that's the whole reason why I was in that relationship is because I was in love with who he was. And as I said to you, he checked every single other box for me. And then when you're in a relationship, you're in a partnership, you compromise. Compromise is when you kind of give up something in exchange for something that's going to replace that. So I compromised many times in that relationship, and it wasn't about, I'm a materialistic person, but at the end of the day, I was willing to put that aside because of the fact that I loved him. So eventually it got to the point where I started to think to myself, I'm like, yo, I'm going into my 30s. Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like, I'm a bad bitch. I'm educated. Like, I know to cook. I know to clean. Like, I'm independent. And like, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about like, I'm dialing back on my lifestyle and dialing back on things that I want to enjoy with you that you can't do with me. And like, for him, his perspective was that like, we're dialing back now to in the future. It's not something that it's not possible, but that's where I had to decide, am I willing to put that, am I willing to wait and that whole lifetime to get there or however long it was going to take, or are our lifestyles just not matching up right now?
I think like what you did and like the way you explain it is like pretty perfect.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Also,
Like I would agree with every step you took.
what if the girl just fell back on everything? She was bringing absolutely nothing to the table. You're gonna stay with her just because you love her, but she can't do anything for you. She's not supporting you emotionally.
Trust
you
you.
know?
I would say
That's
most men
very
do.
important.
Yeah, because
Right,
yo,
but
she.
that's how
Yeah, most
they
men do.
shouldn't
been there,
though.
done that, not
They
gonna do it
shouldn't
again.
though.
Yo, I'm telling you,
Exactly.
like the main thing she gives me is like support,
emotional
and
support.
it's an insane amount of support that I've never like even known existed, and that alone just made me want to like do everything. You know.
It's like she's worthless. Like she adds value to
you
your
just said
life.
something that's very, very important. I feel like a lot of women, like, this was actually a question in the cards, but like, let me bring it this way. Like, you say she brings something to you that makes you automatically want to do these things for
Fam, I
her.
was in a relationship for like 7 years before her, and the only reason I broke up with her, dude, I was literally chilling with her one night, and this is like right when I started to rap. This is like 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm chilling with her on the couch, just watching a movie. I just finished a session with some artists, and I'm just like, yo, we gotta break up. And she's like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, we have to break up. And she knew like I was serious, and I was like,
Just out of nowhere.
just
though,
out of
yeah?
nowhere. Yo, I tell her that too. I was the most like in love with her that I had ever been at that point, and I just knew I will never accomplish what I want. As good of a person as she was, I will never. When I talk passionate like this and everything, motivation, like bro, I get goosebumps and shit just like talking sometimes. She'd like look at me and she's like, that's cute.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, yeah, that's what it was. It's like she's not like being rude, but she's not pushing me anymore.
Yeah.
And she pushes me like, not pushes me like, come on, do this. Like, it's just when I do something, the love in her eyes is like, oh my God, like you killed that show. You killed that show.
Be there to
Yeah.
kind of help you evolve as a man is. That's the whole point. I
Yeah.
feel like of the relationship between a man and a woman.
Exactly.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You're supposed
Especially
to be
when he
feeding off of each
is
other so that you guys can grow and
grinding
build
like
this
this.
beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, for like
Providing
5,
so
6
much.
years, I hadn't grown. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh
it's
my
like-
God,
I love
fuck this,
that for
bro.
you. I love
Yeah.
that for you.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks for her that you did her like that.
Yeah, it does, yo. Trust me, that's what I tell her too. I'm like, bro, like I feel bad for her. Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna go fuck her. I'm like,
You did her justice.
I don't even know why you did that.
I did, yeah.
And she needs to be with a guy that is
Yeah,
like
exactly,
her. Like,
exactly.
I don't even
that's the
know
only
why
way it's
you
ever gonna
dated
work.
before me.
I agree.
That's weird.
It needed to happen.
That's
That's
not
such
weird.
a life thing to say.
Yeah.
You should have known he was gonna be with me. Like,
Seriously, why would you date anyone before her?
Get out of my face, bro.
Yeah, that's weird.
And Randy, like, just to circle back, that's actually beautiful, by the way. I can relate because I was in a relationship for a long time too. In the past where I felt like, I was just not growing. You know what I mean? And you got to know when to walk away, which is, so you might think like I'm attacking you. No, I'm just trying to like see the perspective behind, what your actions were, because like a lot of women in your position make the same conclusion, but their difference or their reason for it is different. Like, you've given somebody 5 years, you're trying to like, be ambitious and like, and you're seeing that, you're watering a plant that is not growing. So it comes to a point where you gotta be like, yeah, I'm aging, because women's biological clock is way different.
This is my first boyfriend that I lost my virginity to, and I was with him for
Right.
for a long time.
Right.
And like I'm somebody who's hard in the pain. It's not just like my relationships. It's like it's my friendships. It's my business. When I put into something, like it's so hard for my attachment. Is kind of crazy. It can be my weakness and my strength, and
Like
that
you struggle with change.
yeah, a little bit when it comes to like when I'm committed to something. Like, and I was really committed to it. I wanted to see it through. I wanted to make sure that I was like, giving it everything that I needed, whether it was, I wanted to know if I was to blame, like, was I wrong for feeling the way that but ultimately what it boiled down to is that I just felt like I was growing and he wasn't, and we weren't growing together. I felt like I was putting him behind by like, not, I guess, I was just being myself, and it was making him feel like he was demasculated at the end of the day. So I don't know if there's a question that you had to ask that I didn't answer.
Sometimes people grow apart, and like, people have to leave each other in that journey. Sometimes they find each other again, and sometimes they don't. But why I brought up that movie Acrimony is because like, you seem like a solid girl, right? A lot of people that get into like certain types of relationships, and like, maybe like, first like year or two, this like all going back to why men don't want to get married. It all adds up. Why, maybe the man has a setback. He has a setback, and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, like, ship sinking. All right, deuces. He can't provide anymore. He can't do, the things that like, I expect him to do. So I'm a dip. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you're talking about like how relationships or how marriages used to be before, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, I feel like the dynamics of marriage is totally different now, where it's, as long as you can provide for me, I'm gonna stick by you. But as soon as like, I see like a little bit of a
slip.
wind,
Yeah.
I got a few rich niggas on my phone.
Wait, but also, I don't think that all of society is like that. I think that's what we see. Is we
Yeah.
see that's what
That's
you
what's
see on
portrayed
social
all the
media.
time.
That's what's portrayed.
Can I
No
tell you
doubt,
something?
because I know
But that's
she's not
not
like
how
that.
everyone
I know
is.
she's not like
Yeah.
You might
that.
know,
like
you
that.
might know,
Yeah.
like, some good ones, but let me tell you something about the power of what we see. It's what influences the next generation.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we
Exactly.
might not be like that.
That's a
because
good point.
We saw
Yeah.
something different in our generation.
That's a good point.
But
yeah.
they're
But what
seeing that
about
all
the
the
next
time.
generation?
Oh, they're doomed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Social media
Yeah.
is ruined.
Because you know,
yeah.
even when I started dating him, like I never had the expectation of him paying all the bills or anything. Like,
Yeah, at all. We split
We were
split
splitting
everything
the
for the
bills
first like year.
for the first
Yeah.
year, yeah, like that's what I thought we would do, like 50-50
Mm-hmm.
everything or whatever. But then once he started to like excel and everything, and then that's what like back to like the masculine stuff, his masculinity like put me more in my femininity kind of
And
thing.
that's what it's
I was more able to
Yes.
support him as he like
But
excelled.
Yeah,
should I
I-
say something that you just said? Let me repeat something that you just said. You said you were going 50-50, but then there might be something that you bring to a man, right? In your case, where it's like just you being in his life, they say women multiply. Just you being in his life and being the right person for him, motivating him, he's looking at you. He's like, damn, I gotta be better for her. I gotta do this. I gotta switch up my life in a certain type of way to be able to provide for you. It brings out his innate nature the same way you automatically fall into your submissive or your femininity when all those things align.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, like, you didn't mind doing 50-50, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got 100%. You're like, oh, I don't got to do nothing. But the problem is when women come into that, like, you go on the first day, go on the second day, it's like,
Expecting it.
all of a sudden it's like, there's this entitlement, like, yeah, you should pay my bills. My rent is
exactly,
due.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like
Yeah.
that's where I have a problem. There's no
100%.
issue whatsoever, and I'm gonna make this clear. There's no issue whatsoever for when a man, like, gets in that position where he can support or he can, like, provide fully for his family to do that. I think it's a detriment, and in fact, it is a shame for a man to be wealthy or a man to, like, be rich or have money and let his woman suffer or like still make her pay
Yeah.
for stuff that like he can handle. I think
Yeah.
that is actually like it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like me and my boys had like a few really fucking good months and set a lot of us up. And it was just that yeah, I woke up one time and I told her, I was like, yo, you don't have to pay for anything anymore because it doesn't make sense if I have this amount of
bill.
Hey, listen, you still gotta do something. You still gotta do something.
yeah, she does, yeah.
You still gotta do
have your
something.
little one too.
But yeah, like with the amount of money I have, like it just doesn't, it morally doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
If I have this much more money, like how are we gonna split that 50-50?
Yeah, also it should be based off of each person's income.
Yeah.
Like you don't split 50-50. If a guy is making like
Yeah.
5 times more than the girl is making, why would you split it 50-50?
Of course,
All
yeah.
right, so what if the girls make it 5 times?
Then why would
Oh,
You was going to ask this question.
I mean, that
Yo.
honestly goes
Are you
back to my
comfortable with
original
that?
question.
Would you be comfortable?
Yeah,
with
I think
that?
it's guys have more of a problem
you
with
be
it than
comfortable with
girls
that?
do.
You might notice some people are missing. It's okay, they got abducted by aliens. That's a podcast for another day. But how do you guys feel about we're talking earlier about like posting your partner on social media. So
Oh
it's like,
man,
yeah.
this is so personally for me.
Mhm.
I'm a DJ.
Mhm.
Got a lot of following on social media. It's part of my job to be on social media. I have been on both ends of the spectrum. I've been on the part where like, we should post each other, and then I've kind of seen like how toxic that can get. And I've been on like the whole like let's not post each other, and that's a whole other shitstorm on its own.
Like why? You got other girls, huh? You don't want them to see.
Guyanese girl.
So
Also, if you have a big Instagram and as a girl, you're like, okay, like you have so many people following you and you don't want to post me. Like, why? Are you trying to hide it?
Yeah, I think that like with us, I know like as much as we're active on Instagram, we're completely separated from it. Like it has nothing to do with real life, and we genuinely look at it that way. So like when we're at Disney and stuff, like I take pictures with her. So when I go on my Instagram, I post pictures with her. You know, like it doesn't seem like, do I have to think about this or what's someone gonna message me? I'm just doing what I want to do, and like People look so
That's what I
deep
do too,
into that
yeah. Yeah, people think
application.
too much
It's
about it.
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm with him 24/7, so obviously he's gonna end up with my page, and he's also doing
Yeah.
crazy shit all the time. I'm recording his shows and everything. He's gonna end up with my page.
People look so deep into that app, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's really
crazy.
not that serious.
And I know
it's
for like
crazy.
a DJ and then like a rapper, you have to like look a certain way too. Like I know he has
Yeah.
girlfriends. Like obviously all his girls know we're together. All his
Yeah.
girlfriends know we're together. But like yeah, like it's mostly you, right? Like they want to see you, and like you have to like portray a certain image. And
So the one thing, like as even like as an influencer or whatever, like if social media is a big part of what you do in your life, I feel like you have to kind of plan the stages of like when you start posting your relationship online.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're like, like coming up or whatever,
Don't do it.
don't do it just yet.
yeah,
We weren't even dating when she was posting.
I was posting it. I don't give a
She,
shit.
she was like pranking me with pregnancy tests on the second
I'll
time I
post
met
anything, I
her.
don't
Second
care.
time I met her.
If I want to
She's
post
fucking
something, I'm
posting it
gonna
on her
post something,
Instagram.
bro. Like I don't think. But yo,
Yeah,
I was gonna
because we
say
don't think
earlier.
deep into it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
earlier I was gonna say the only thing I do think about, and it's like the spiritual side that like whatever, is sometimes I think about like bad
Evil
eye,
eye.
Evil eye,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I also
People
think
wish
I
down on
believe in
you.
it, but
Yeah,
I also
sure.
think if you completely neglect
Exactly,
it,
yeah,
then
it's
it's
not
not
gonna
going to
affect
affect
you.
you.
Of course.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
sometimes I think like obviously I have to post my engagement and everything, right? But like I'm posting the ring and everything, and I'm thinking like, people are gonna bad eye me and think this, and that's negative energy towards me. Obviously, I'm definitely like not bringing
Letting
that into
that
my
in,
life.
yeah.
Yeah, but it is true. Like I have 12,000 followers on Instagram. People are hating. I have
Yeah.
DMs.
Yeah, it's
from,
Right, but
it's
they're
to
doing
each their
that to
own.
your life without him as well. So like,
Exactly.
they're looking at your pictures
Yeah.
anyway and be like, oh, like she probably did this, and she
Yeah,
probably,
she's a
like
hoe,
either way,
whatever, yeah.
like they're judging you and have
Yeah.
negative things to say whether you're posting him or not.
but it really is at the end of the day like to each their own. It depends
Yeah,
on how
Yeah,
you
just
because
Instagram
I know
it.
like
person.
Fame Holiday, like he just got engaged too. Time ago, actually got engaged.
Oh, and he didn't post it
Yeah,
till
he
now.
didn't post it till now, and
Right.
yeah, it's like to each their own, Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
he definitely had like feelings
Like I
about
think
posting it.
when I'm pregnant, I want to do what Kylie did with Stormy.
What'd she do?
She just didn't. She was gone off Instagram for Yasmeena doesn't know. I don't know how you don't know. Other girls don't know.
Sorry.
I have no idea
They
what
know, they
this
know,
was.
they know. No, she completely was off. Right? Do you know? She was off
No,
internet.
I don't know.
I don't even think
See,
the
I
other girls
would
would have
never
known.
How do you
ever
guys not
post
know
my
this?
baby on Instagram
Oh, no, I
because
don't.
you know what? That's where the child predators are.
Of course.
And I think like Kylie and all them, like it's super American. I don't think
Yeah.
like
They're also
Canadian people
so
follow them
famous.
really.
No, they do.
I mean,
actually.
I don't know. I
It's
think
just
they
for me.
do. I just think
For me,
like
I just don't keep up with it.
yeah, I just
Well,
don't.
they're high.
I don't know
they're up
anything
there.
about anything.
No, definitely, yeah, like the most famous people
Yeah.
in the world.
No, but
Yeah.
I remember when I was in school and like people, like I was in university at the time, and people were all like, "Yo, she's definitely pregnant. Like that's why she's not posting." Like,
Yeah, it's a
this
girly
really-
show, right? So I don't
Yeah,
know
it was
any
like
guys that have
everyone
ever
was
watched
talking about it and stuff. So I know that and then she came back and she actually was pregnant and she had the baby already. But yeah, she kept it all private and it was just like for her to have, and like that's what I would want.
Yeah.
Because that's something way more personal. Like
Yeah, it's really
everyone
personal.
sees us out
It's
and everything,
private, yeah.
Maybe if he wasn't a artist and I wasn't like on Instagram like that, I wouldn't care to post this. It'd be more like reclusive.
Yeah.
But my account's very like.
Personally,
You like posting.
I like
because-
posting, yeah.
Personally, because I don't use Instagram like that, I actually would want if my husband was not on Instagram for his job or whatever, I would actually want him to delete it.
Right.
And I would delete it too,
Right.
but I don't really see
You don't need it.
like I think people like why are you so obsessed with Instagram that,
Yeah.
like you need it?
Exactly.
Like, you have
That's
more
the other
important
thing.
things.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
other thing
like
is,
realistically, there's
it's our
no.
jobs.
Yeah, if it's your job, like
Exactly.
keep
If it's
it.
not
But
your
if it's
job,
not,
like
why do you need
just
it?
get TikTok if you want to watch funny videos or something.
Yeah.
Instagram doesn't have that shit anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean that's I use Instagram to watch my videos.
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
I don't have TikTok. I watch Reels. And
Reels
that's
are
fun.
good. Reels are good.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Then why can't a guy have it to watch
No,
reels?
like he can have it, but like
That's
because I don't know, I just feel like the way I am on Instagram, I would want him to be the same way on
Yeah.
Instagram. Like I
and
would
he
That's
might,
fair.
and he might be.
Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah.
If you're doing that, then
it's I just want somebody to match.
we're pretty much the
way I
exact
am.
same.
Yeah,
on
you
IG.
guys are the same.
Yeah, we
the way you
post
guys
like
post
all
on
of our
Instagram.
posts. It's nothing personal on our page. You've
Yeah.
seen my pages. Like I don't
Yeah.
have anything personal. My nephew's not on there. Like my family's not on there.
Yeah,
just
my
pictures of
family
me.
is
Yeah.
never on there either.
Yeah.
So I think where this gets into like a very slippery slope is like the persona you need to have for whatever you do online
Yeah.
versus what you really are,
Yeah.
and explaining that to your partner.
Yeah. It's
It's
all a
very tough.
communication thing. Like you need to really be able to talk about the reasons
Mm-hmm.
and like what you're gonna do.
Yeah,
And most of the times, if you have a persona online that needs to look like you're not in a relationship, which most
Right.
DJs unfortunately have to be.
Yeah.
Right.
It sucks.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you'll
100%.
just like be in this like cycle of like fighting over social media
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I did like my first show with Peter Jackson, who's a promoter in Canada, puts on shows for lots of big artists. And
Yep.
one time I opened for, I think it was Lloyd Banks or Tony Yayo, first show I did with him. And yeah, Peter came up to me and he's like, dude, I can't remember exactly what he said or something, like, you shocked me, like, you have such a different persona on Instagram. And I don't even really mean to. It's just, if we're gonna have a conversation, and it's about business or just like a logical conversation, I'm right in the zone with you, and I'm learning or teaching, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, he said he's like, you look like a lunatic online. And he's like, but
And
it's,
that,
he
like-
said he's like, it's amazing though. He's like, for you
Yeah.
to be like that online, and then when I come and speak to you for the first time, and you're so respectful, and it's a really good thing.
100%. Like I'll tell you, like social media has opened so many doors for me.
Yeah,
So like insane amount of doors for
Yeah,
me.
it's created entire lives for people.
Exactly.
Can I ask you a question for C.rowe. So since my Instagram is like, I'm portrayed as like, people think I'm like a hoe or something like that because my Instagram's like seductive, right? Like, did you feel a type of way when you started dating me or like started talking to me?
When I saw your Instagram, I didn't portray like that at all. I see plenty of girls' Instagrams that look like tings and stuff. Yours isn't. Yours is super bubbly. I always thought.
Oh, okay.
Your Instagram,
Yeah.
you have a baddie brat girl Instagram.
Exactly. It's not like a bad
Like
bitch.
you,
Like,
yours is
Right.
like
Like my
curated.
like squinting and your lips like this.
But
Always
it's not,
like.
yeah, and like your
you're
posts are
happy.
not just like you're not
Right,
just like posts
okay.
like they're so curated. Like
Yeah.
you have edited backgrounds.
Yeah,
Okay,
like I
like,
take my
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a portfolio. Like,
See,
Yeah.
one of the biggest misconceptions people have is like when people have like a model type of Instagram,
Right.
they're, like very shallow guys will be like, that's a hoe.
Exactly. Yeah, and I
And-
used to
I
get that
remember
a
girls
lot.
used to say, "Oh, like you seem like such a bitch," and I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks."
But you are.
Oh yeah, so they were right.
Oh man.
No, I know. Yeah, no, people definitely have their like perceptions of things. Like people
Yeah.
always do tell me, like, look at her Instagram page. Like obviously she's like, you know, this and this. And
Yeah.
whatever. So I was worried like I wouldn't be able to find. I didn't really worry about it, but I always thought if I'm like into a guy, he's gonna think this way about me. But
And
But
also
if
like
it's the right
attracting
guy-
the wrong man.
exactly, and I was attracting like a lot
Yeah,
of the wrong guys.
that's yeah.
But
Now your
luckily I
Instagram
found-
could have been like super hoey, and I actually wouldn't have like affected anything.
exactly.
Because just right when I meet you, that's what it's
Yeah,
about.
and I knew like the guy I'm meant to be with will
Will not care.
exactly.
Yeah.
He'll know
They'll-
who I am. I love to like post
But,
pictures
but it's
on
crazy.
IG.
With my ex, I was not okay with some
Right,
things,
right,
and
that's
it's
what I'm
just
saying.
because of my own insecurities. You know, like once I dropped all my insecurities because of her and how much like pride she gave me. Yeah, I literally didn't give a fuck at all, and like I just have all the trust in the world. When-
Plus, I want to look
or
like
it's
a
just the
baddie.
voodoo.
Yeah.
or it's the voodoo she did.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Karishma,
it's
what you
Maybe
what
it's a
you
mix of both.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden I'm just this different person. Like all of a sudden, like things I used
Well,
to
you know
not
what?
like.
Yeah.
I feel
What?
like
That
it
just
was,
happened
it was
one
a
day.
positive impact though. Things went up.
Yeah.
So
Yo.
But why did
it
it just
was
happen
doing good.
overnight? That's
It was
actually
doing
weird.
good.
You gotta start
Weird,
questioning
yeah.
things, my
It wasn't black
friend.
magic. It was white magic.
Does she cook? Does she cook for you?
He
I
cooks
cook.
for me.
You cook? Okay, so
He's actually an
Yo, can you
amazing
do
cook.
this voodoo shit to my next girl?
Yeah,
He
man.
gave me a lock of her hair from her brush. Oh my god.
Yo, she's actually sounds like
she's
she's
serious.
serious.
She
So,
is, she
like,
is. I used to have hair.
not her every night. You see, get it a piece of Nah, that's funny as fuck.
Hey, why do we have like 5 tweezers from Amazon delivered?
If you know, you know.
Jesus.
Literally.
The very, very interesting question, like I want to ask you guys, just to get like, perspective, mixed perspective. Why do you think people cheat?
Their own issues. I think it's their own traumas and that they have not worked through.
Oh.
I also think it's I think human nature though is like you're gonna look at other people and you find them attractive. It's the boundaries you set.
For yourself,
So you have to make the choice to say, I'm attracted to that person and blah, blah, blah. Am I gonna keep engaging with them knowing what that could lead to.
Right.
If you do, you're lacking self-awareness
Exactly.
and self-responsibility.
And
I
self-esteem.
think, yeah, and I think that's why it happens a lot of the times. Insecurity.
It is.
People that they'll think, oh, she's gonna cheat on me, so I'm gonna cheat on her first, or they're already cheating on me, so I might as well cheat too. It's a lot of
It's like insecurities within your
going on in
relationship
your
and
own
with yourself.
head. Yeah,
I think
things
it's
going
like
on in your head.
we just have a lot of testosterone in us, and
Yeah, but that's why you're attracted to women.
sometimes you can't help it.
No, but you can't
You just
help
gotta
it.
fuck everything. I fuck a watermelon if there's a girl not around. Peanut butter sandwich.
Watermelon.
Peanut butter sandwich.
That's why he
know-
bought the watermelon.
That's why he bought the coconut
That's-
too.
If I want some, if I want some chocolate, I'll fucking whip Nutella up in there.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going in a very very strange direction.
Like, no, like, I want to know actually why.
another level.
No,
Yeah.
it is like there's no.
No, but I want to know what the guys think actually, because that's why I think people cheat.
Okay, wait. One time he told
And at
me.
the end of the day, I know it all is all mental, and even if the guys say it isn't, it is all issues in your head. Because there's people that don't cheat.
Of course.
I want to ask you guys a question.
Wait,
on top of
sorry.
the question
What
that I
were we
just
gonna
said.
say about
I was
that?
gonna say one time he told me we were drinking. Though, like you're drunk, but this is what you told me. I asked him, listen. I was like, why do guys fuck girls on the side or whatever, have things on the side when you have a girl? And he said because guys, they want the wifey at home, but they like want to enjoy shit on the side or whatever too, whatever. And I think it's just like,
Entree ain't good without something on the side.
I am a true believer, as like shitty as this might sound, I am a true believer that you can be in love with someone and still sleep with someone else.
Of course. But
I
feel
don't
like
disagree
women-
guys
with
women
that.
don't
I think
understand
that's
that.
true. I think
Right,
men
of
can
course.
do that. But
Yeah.
choose what's more important
Exactly.
to you.
Yeah.
what's more important?
Would you
to yeah.
rather throw away all that
Yeah.
love
Exactly.
to fuck people on
Yeah.
the side?
Yeah.
Or would you rather keep
Yeah,
your one
and
half
no, you're
and
never
stay
gonna
with
find
her?
a girl that's like okay with that and ticks off all your other
And
boxes.
isn't doing
you might
that
find a girl who's
herself,
okay with that, but I promise you, she will not check hardly any of your other boxes you have.
And she would
Yeah.
do
But it's
probably
all.
do
But
much
why
worse.
is
Yeah.
sex?
Welcome
so,
to Toronto dating life.
I don't get why sex to guys is like that. Like,
Well, we also live in a very sexually ingrained society.
of course.
Yo,
Everything is sexualized.
guys are careless in general, like much more careless than women are. Sorry, not careless, less emotional. So we don't put
There's no
emotion
attachment.
into something
Yeah.
like
No
that.
attachment,
A
yeah.
woman,
It's like going to the gym.
most of the time, a woman would
You know?
put emotion into that.
Why
not
is
all
it
the
like
time.
going to the gym?
Because it's
No,
just
it's
like
not
getting a
really.
workout. Like, you know, it's just
Wait, what
something
were you
that
saying? What were you saying? It's like going to the gym.
yeah, like,
Cheating's like going to the
All
gym.
right, I'm not sure how I agree with that one.
I'm not saying myself personally, but I feel like, you know, from a guy's perspective, like if we're just talking about like generally the cheaters, the people that cheat, like to them it's like it's a hunting game, it's a sport. You know,
Yeah,
being able to
also-
get like something that you're like, oh, I want that.
Okay.
So
know
at
what
the
I
end
mean?
of the day, they keep trying to
Hey
seek
man, you gotta work out at
fulfillment.
least 3 to 4
wait,
times
Well,
a week.
because
you know
they're
what I'm
not
saying? So,
self-fulfilled
Okay.
with themselves.
To touch on this, like, hey, the guys when the
I do
guys
not
cheat,
promote cheating, by the way.
when guys cheat, right? Say they have a girl at home, whatever. When they cheat, it's like a BBL girl or like, you know, all this like work done, kind of like those kind of girls that go for that. So I'm always like, is that like their type, but they
No,
don't want to
That's
like
not true
marry
at
their
all.
girl?
No.
That's not true at all.
I feel like
All right,
guys
so, like,
cheat
when
and
a
the
guy
girl is never prettier than the girl they're
Exactly,
with.
that's what
And
it
it's
is.
just
I'm not saying that the
confusing.
BBL girls are pretty. I
No,
feel
but like nothing is
No,
better
they're
about them in
not.
any
You wanna
way.
know why?
Why?
Because whether you go to Planet Fitness or Good Life, you're still working out.
3 times a week.
I don't get the workout analogy. I don't get that. Okay.
It doesn't matter the gym or what it looks like.
Okay, so you're telling me guys will fuck. So then why are you guys fucking
So-
uglier girls than
But
your
then
main
stay
girl?
single. Stay single
Yeah,
and
so
fuck
then
everyone
also, so
you
why
want.
not, you guys, why not stay single?
No, I don't
My,
agree. Like, I agree with you guys. I'm just, the question was, why do men cheat? And I strictly think that
It's
it's
just
just
nature.
because we don't have as
But
much
it's
emotion in
not
it.
just nature. If you actually
So-
look into
But
the
emotion
human
is nature.
psychology of
Emotion
it,
is nature.
No, I know, but if you look into the human psychology of it and your brain and your emotional development and your self-regulation, it's actually all based on that. It's
On
what
what?
level are you at emotionally and developmentally? Like they're just at different levels because there are men that don't cheat and it's because they have that
They're more
level of
secure in
self-awareness
themselves, yeah.
Like
and
me.
security that they don't need to do that. And they don't. And even if they
Nah,
want
bro.
to,
last week?
What?
Weren't you in
I was in
Miami?
Miami. Let me tell you something. I never cheated one day in my life. All,
Apparently
praise,
you got-
black
you got a
men don't
girl?
cheat.
all praise to the Most High.
You got a girl?
Sorry, what?
yeah, who would
got a
you
girl?
be cheating on?
Exactly. When have you been in a
You
relationship?
in a relationship?
When were you in a relationship?
I can't hear
He's like,
you.
exactly. I ain't never cheated.
So many people talking.
You remember what I was saying about?
At least you're staying single,
Exactly.
okay?
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, so like I'll tell
never
I'll tell
know.
you about like my experience personally. Like I've been single for like I think 4 years now. Before that, I was in like relationship after relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I've probably cheated twice in my life.
Of course.
And
As a man will.
as men will.
But I've
And
never cheated.
and okay, but like I'm being completely open about it is because it didn't come from a place like I wanted like a side bitch or like
It just
I
happened.
No, it was almost like almost like a revenge tone kind of thing. It's like you made me feel a certain type of way.
That's a whole another
You made
thing.
me like that, and that's one. And it's one of the things that you learn, I think, growing up. Like the moment someone makes you feel insecure, that's not for you.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
but that doesn't
not
make
for
you a
you.
compulsive cheater.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Also,
Yeah.
You just
anybody
cheated
can
once.
cheat. Women can cheat too, but women are better at putting
hiding it.
boundaries
Oh.
in place. Okay. No, women are better at putting boundaries in place to prevent it. It's not
Right,
like how
right,
many
right, right,
guys have you
100%.
interacted with that you could have feelings for the guy, but you choose
Yo, that's the
to
other
not
thing.
let
Women,
that happen.
yo, our whole lives.
How many men are
since
touch-
you're born,
yeah.
men are like drooling over
All
you.
the time.
And we're used to it, and we're used to they saying no, no, no. You don't
Yeah.
even look at it. 'cause
Even
you're like,
if they're
fuck that.
very
Or
attractive,
one guy
you
says
can say
one
no.
girl says your shirt is nice, and you're like fucking rock solid.
I think
Yo,
you just-
literally, you're like,
because
oh
it
my
never
god.
happens.
I think
Yeah.
you just solved the case.
Yeah.
No, that's what it's guys.
You spent a lot of
It's
years
guys never
practicing
get
saying
attention.
no, and we never get that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when we do get that little whiff of attention, it's like,
It's like, whoa,
Exactly.
It
what's
literally
this?
is like that. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's exciting. It's
let's
exciting.
do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
It's literally that.
It's jokes.
Yeah, so that's actually quite interesting. But you know what? I feel like more people need to have these conversations, especially like, with their significant others.
Yeah.
They need to really like figure out the mentality and like, psychology behind the people that they're dating. You got to sit down and ask them the
100%.
question like,
Like
what do you
though?
think
What do you
about
ask
cheating?
when you start
Yeah.
dating someone?
Yeah, what do you think about cheating?
There's a lot of questions
Have you cheated?
should actually ask.
Would you cheat? In what situations?
So do you think
Yeah.
a guy who has cheated in his past relationships and then starts dating someone else, do you think that they're like a cheater? Like
They're
are they gonna
susceptible,
cheat?
doesn't mean they
They're
will.
susceptible.
Not
Doesn't
necessarily.
mean they will. Because they might have learned their lesson. They might know.
So
like,
who
they
on
might
this
lose.
table has cheated before?
Never.
I've never
like,
cheated.
That's the thing. Like, I cheated on my
For
ex.
some reason, I don't believe this guy.
Right?
I cheated on my ex
Have
once.
you been in a relationship before?
Yes. Multiple.
Good for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've never
I
cheated.
cheated on my ex.
To this day.
Just one time.
Okay.
And
Crazy.
yeah, it was the fucking shittiest feeling in the world. You know?
Don't tell me it was with
I
you.
felt like I wanted to.
No, it wasn't.
I felt like I wanted to like throw up. Like, it was,
Oh, for real?
Yeah, like I sat in my room that night, disgusted. Like I was sick to my stomach. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's just mad weird.
Regrets and
I
bad
think,
decisions.
yeah, cheating's fucked up.
Honestly, like I'll tell you, like when men grow up, like when they actually mature, the one thing they value more than anything is peace of mind.
Facts.
Yeah, you don't want to
And-
cause problems
yeah.
to your life.
And
Like, why are you
no,
doing that?
like I don't care how hot you are, no piece of pussy
Exactly.
is
For
worth
what?
that piece of
No,
mind.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like if I'm gonna have to like do something and then worry the rest of my fucking
Yeah,
Yeah,
life.
that they're
rest
gonna
of your
find
life,
out,
and we
that your
will find
relationship's
out.
gonna. Cause
Yeah,
we
you
know-
will
we
find
know- You know what? They know the night you did it. We know. We had dreams about it.
Dreams about it.
I when it was happening,
I swear to God.
when you were doing it, I saw
I
it.
swear to
Like,
God.
Yeah.
I know what the bitch looks like and everything.
uh
Like, it's
huh.
done.
Yep.
funny.
I
I
know
already
her name.
messaged her on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
This
yeah.
guy is
It's
like,
true.
she's not kidding.
No, yeah.
She
No,
can
but
see it
it's
in
really
my-
true.
She can see it in
A
the lock
woman's
of my hair.
intuition. Yeah.
She has a crystal ball
Magnifying
down there.
glass. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
No, a woman's intuition is really strong. We'll find out anything
Anything.
at one
Isn't that
point or
true?
another. Doesn't matter if
Yeah,
it's a
I-
year from that when it
I think
happened.
everything comes to light.
We will always find out. Always.
100%.
Everything that's dark will come to light.
Women are very powerful when you think about
We are
it.
super
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
Very
Power of the
powerful.
pussy.
Women create life. So think about
all
how
we got.
powerful that is.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you though?
I mean, technically, we
Oh,
we,
shut up!
we carry
Don't
it.
even get on that conversation.
We carry it in us our whole lives, and then put the seed in you.
Okay.
We literally planted the seed. We're farmers. You guys are just lambs giving birth.
Babe, that's
Did
enough.
you plant the lamb? The lamb just was born from another lamb, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so where'd you
The
come
lamb
from?
fucked.
The woman
From my
created
dad's
you.
balls.
Wait, no, wait. The woman
came from my
birthed
dad's
you
balls.
so that you could have
But how did she birth me? How did she get
seeds in your
pregnant?
balls. And you
From
could put
my
them in
dad.
her. No, like, let's be real for a
No,
second.
no,
We all
I
know
just play.
that.
I just play with you. I just play it.
As much as it originates from our dad's balls,
No,
we know
I know I come from my
We
mother.
know
Yeah.
what you go through
Yeah,
for those
okay.
9 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Fuck.
We might fuck around with you a little bit.
Go put it in those fake embryos and have that
Yeah,
fake,
go put it in your fake embryo,
fake
bitch.
You know
AI
what?
baby.
You know
Now
what?
that cheating on
Let's
that
talk-
fake
Let's
AI
talk
baby.
about AI. Like, if you're actually like
All
being
right.
like you're nitty gritty about it, like sperm could actually be grown in the lab.
Right, but
and
yeah.
turned
Yo,
into a-
babies are being made
no,
now
but
without
Where do you
women.
get a sperm? Like, where do you get an artificial sperm?
Exactly.
Like, how can
Yeah.
They created the scientists created with God
Stem
knows
cells.
what.
You
Stem
can't.
cells.
Stem cells.
No, but okay, it's not real sperm, but they create the baby with it. Just like they
Just like
create
the
your
womb is not
lab-made
real.
meat. What does
That's
that
what
come
DNA.
from?
Yeah, that's what DNA.
It's not real. Watch it dissolve when you put it in
But no,
vinegar.
they are making
part.
they are making babies now.
Watch it rain
with-
and the
This is
fucking
news
babies
to
are gonna
me,
dissolve.
though.
No,
I
they
thought-
bro, they're making babies now without women. They just need men's
Right,
sperm
but you know
and they
that
can do
you
it in
could
an
do
incubator.
babies without men
That's
before
why.
you could do babies without,
Without
women.
women.
Babies without men has been around for a long time.
How?
Oh.
Because, like, with fake semen.
What's fake semen?
I don't
didn't-
know, just like a fake womb. What's a fake womb?
I don't think that's ever been a thing.
No, it
What
is
are
a
you
thing.
talking about?
It's
Like,
no, it's a thing.
The only
Where?
thing
Someone
I'm
look
Babies
that up.
without men.
the
No
only
one's
thing
ever
I'm
heard of that.
familiar with is like women freezing their eggs,
Yeah.
and then
That's
you
not the
need
same
like
thing,
semen.
though.
And you-
No,
Yeah,
no,
so
no.
look it up.
Would you trust that to be a baby?
No, but why would you trust a baby
I
in a
have
fake
I have
womb?
I have a
Well,
nephew
either.
that was born like that.
A fake semen?
No, like
Artificial womb.
no.
Surrogate.
the-
Surrogacy.
Not surrogacy.
You
It's
don't-
called in vitro.
Look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in-
that's
yeah.
different though. That uses the both of the.
The
actual-
sperm and the eggs
It's
like
called-
freeze. Yeah.
It's called how to reproduce without any male genetic contribution. Parthenogenesis is the best example.
Parthenogenesis, fam, we told
It's
you.
a virgin birth.
That's
That's
all.
what
Like
they say.
Mary.
Yeah, like Mary. That's what she did, I guess.
Probably is what she did.
No, she fucked and then she didn't want to admit
I
it.
know, bro. I know.
I agree.
Blasphemy.
Lots of blasphemy. I have it now here.
Holy shit. You see, this is why I don't let the liquor flow. Talking all kinds of shit. Nah, man.
These are my sober opinions.
Are you religious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's the prophet.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
I believe in God too. Just I'm not Catholic.
Neither am I.
Okay, yeah. So
So yeah, you know what
God
it
do you
is.
believe in?
I'm God, I believe. But I believe you are God.
But I believe
you are
everyone's God.
Yeah.
We're all God. We're all creations of God, so we're all God.
All right.
Yeah, of course, but
There's so many different
meditating
types
is
of-
blasphemy, so
Yeah.
that's bullshit.
Well, there's so many different types of God that like how can you because like they say like oh like my God is the God, but then like what about that religion's God? That religion's God is the God.
I think all those
So it's
prophets
all just-
existed at one
They
point,
all
you know?
existed, yeah.
course.
But I
it's
don't-
all real. I
Like,
believe the Bible
like just
is
the
real.
stories are like
I just think everything
blown
gets
up.
lost in translation. It's
Yeah.
been centuries and
I was
centuries.
literally learning like in philosophy in university. We talked about Jesus, Buddha, like all these philosophers. Like they're philosophers. They are, and like yeah, that's the.
They're
people
all
follow
real.
their word because they
yeah,
actually
these
have
stories
a
get
basic
lost in
philosophy.
translation.
Everything
Bible
just-
gets written
yeah.
100 different
Rewritten
times,
and retranslated
yeah,
and yeah.
the stories get a little.
I feel like we're about to
crazier
get
each time.
some really controversial shit.
That's fine. I don't give a fuck. Like, I have respect. I have all the respect in the world for like anyone's religion or whatever. But if
Yeah.
you're asking me what I believe, I don't believe a lot of things, but I do believe a lot of things too. You know, I believe a lot of these people and stories in the Bible were true.
I believe that too.
I think there's things like Jesus walked across water that is maybe just an over exaggeration
I
of
think
some
they're kind of
teaching
maybe
or something.
metaphors.
That's all.
I think there may be like metaphors.
Yeah, but I
for
think
certain
everything
things that
Unless
does
it was, like, the
follow
tradition
something
we
that
had
happened,
earlier,
you
yeah,
know?
actually.
Like I think every story in the Bible
But people can
follows something
levitate.
that really did happen.
So
That's a
maybe
whole
he did
different
walk
thing,
across
though.
water because they can levitate.
But you don't believe like in anything in the
Hey,
Bible?
yo. Listen. To each their own. I'm a very political person when it comes to religion. I cannot make you believe what I believe, and I respect your belief.
Oh, so yeah, you do
Yeah.
believe like a lot of stuff in the Bible.
Or what do you believe in?
That's what I'm asking you. What do you believe?
I believe in one God. I
Yeah.
believe in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
And so
Everybody has the right to believe
okay,
in
but
what
no,
they
like there's a
believe in.
podcast, so we gotta talk. Like, so do you believe in every single story in the Bible? Like they say this is what happened. Do you believe that happened?
Maybe not literally.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I also believe every story in the Bible happened.
If you
just
don't-
not literally the way that they're
Yeah.
writing
Some
it out.
people who
should
are
I tell you
extremists
something?
take it
Yeah.
literally.
If you take away the fact that Jesus Christ performed miracles, that completely takes away from the fact that Jesus Christ is the Son of God.
Yeah, I don't believe Jesus is the Son of God.
Okay, there we go.
That's another thing I don't believe. Yeah.
I don't think Jesus is the Son of God, like as in God.
We
got
are all
Mary
God.
pregnant,
Like we are all
But
God. So
I
I don't
think
know.
he
Right.
is like
Yeah, I'm really
a source from God that came
a
down
very
to
spiritual
teach
belief.
people.
Yeah.
And he did do that.
Yeah.
He did that.
Yeah.
And,
I believe that.
That's
yeah.
what I think.
But that's just my belief, and no one knows for certain unless you
What
fucking work in the
happened?
Vatican
Yeah,
or some
exactly.
shit.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
nobody knows what's
Yeah.
real.
So
And
again,
we
I'll
never
always have
will.
respect for whatever people believe, because I as well
Yeah.
am not correct at all with what I
But
believe.
you know,
because I
God,
don't
God
know.
says to love everyone, doesn't he?
I
Right?
mean-
So it doesn't matter what you believe in. Everyone deserves love and respect.
He's also killed everyone on Earth like a dozen times.
Well, sometimes we deserve it.
Yeah.
We deserve it all the time.
Yeah. No, for real. Yeah, like all the events, like the flooding and stuff. Like that's something I just looked into recently and realized it is something that happened.
It is-
There was a
there's
large
so-
flood on
yeah.
the world, and yeah, a lot of people did die.
All I say is this.
How come 9/11 isn't in the Bible? In 100 years from now, watch
'Cause
9/11 be
Bush
in the
did
fucking
9/11,
Bible.
not
No, but this is what I'm saying is like, how come all these like insane fucking events
Are not in the Bible.
aren't in the Bible? And then like,
You know why?
and I know because it's
Let me
newer
ask you a
stuff,
question.
but even stuff from back then, Sumerians and Anunnaki and
It's
stuff.
not, it is in the. It's,
Okay,
it's not in
but
the Bible.
exactly,
But it is
yeah.
in the, Apocrypha. If you read
No, I didn't read
the
it, but
last books of the Bible, you will find a lot more things.
right, but
than
it's all,
66
but a lot of it's theory. Like they don't really, yeah, they don't ever say
A lot of
Anunnaki
things-
were on our
a lot of
Earth or
things are
anything.
theory.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it goes into theology and it goes into like people have spent years studying this. Some have been able to prove it, some have not been able to prove it. That's why I say like certain things, like it's all left to conviction. If you believe it, you believe it. Sometimes something makes you believe it because
Yeah.
something happens that convicts you.
Like a life
Yeah,
change.
like 50 Cent when he got shot 9 times
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
survived. He said, he's like, God save me. Yeah.
It's not my job to.
Even though his
to-
aunts saved him or his
Yeah.
grandma or whatever.
Right.
It's not my job to change people's beliefs or whatever. Like when I
Yeah, it's
say
no
I
one's,
believe
yeah.
in God or I believe in Jesus Christ. Like I don't think it's the Bible says turn me to a fucking preacher, bro. Like the Bible says do evangelism and teach people about the works of Christ or teach people about the works of God. But I feel like if not everybody believed that Jesus was the Son of God and Jesus was real in the Bible and they still end up crucifying him and killing him, then who am I to say that, I want to change people's beliefs and I want to make everybody believe.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Even people in the days of Christ did not believe he was the Son of God. They didn't believe that, he was even a man of God. They thought he was a magician. Until something happened, they're like, oh shit. Shout out Savio the magician.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I would believe that dude's Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. He's the second coming.
You
At
tell
this
me
point.
that. That's, yeah.
blasphemy. Holy shit, what is going on, guys? What the
Bro, it's just like, I don't,
So wait till you go to one of his shows.
like, yo, like,
Can't wait.
like, bro, it's just, I don't really fucking care because I think a lot of it is crazy and problematic. Religion is 100% problematic.
Most wars
Should
are
I-
created
should I tell
over
you
Every
something?
single war
Should I
that's
tell you
ever
something?
happened.
If you listen to what I said, when you asked me, what do I believe? I never said I believe in religion.
You believe in God.
What I
not
said
religion.
was,
Right.
I believe in God and
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Right, so I
However you
think
interpret that.
Christianity has caused a
that-
lot of
I think
problems
it's-
as well, But that's every religion has caused a lot
Christianity
of
is
problems.
not, it's not God here sitting on the throne being like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
don't do this. It's a bunch of people coming together.
Exactly, yeah.
create an
So
institution.
maybe
So it's
not
like-
Christianity, but it's these
The people.
cultist followers
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
So do you consider yourself agnostic or do you consider yourself like Christian?
Or
I
do you
believe
just say
in
you're
God.
a believer of God?
And I believe in Jesus Christ.
So I guess that's like
Yeah.
Christian.
Cool.
See,
No, that's a
that's-
good way to
yeah.
just put it. then.
Everything
Yeah.
else is debatable.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I say.
Super valid.
Yeah. So if you believe in a stone, in a golden cow, in Hennessy, it's okay, baby. We all good. We Gucci.
I believe in
That's
Hennessy.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's you.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever you believe in, as long as at the end of the day, you're genuinely a good person.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what's most
yeah,
important.
That's ultimately.
Because in the end,
Yeah.
if God is real and we will be judged, you wanna be ready.
Now you say Jesus Christ is a fraud.
Be careful.
No, I said I think he
When the day
existed,
happens.
and I said I think he did a lot of good and taught people. I don't think he is the actual Son
You know
of
what
God.
God's
That's
gonna
all.
do? God's gonna play you this podcast and be like, Episode 12.
Yeah. And bro, and I'll be like,
God
and
is
yo,
more forgiving
and
than that.
fam, I'll literally be like, okay, fuck, you were right. I see Jesus right there.
And Jesus is gonna be like, too late, motherfucker.
You're going into hellfire right now.
There is no hell. There is no hell. Like,
I don't believe in
everyone knows there is no hell.
Heaven and
Everyone
hell?
who dies goes to heaven, or heaven, whatever it is. That light with the stairway and the party of all your relatives, and then the spiritual realm,
Yeah,
whatever. I believe everyone experiences that when they pass.
I believe heaven and hell are the way you live your life on
On
earth.
earth.
So you live your life in heaven. That's the way you live your life in your head. You live your life in hell. You can be a bad person and be in heaven, but you can be a good person and be in hell. It's
True,
the
true,
way
true.
you live your
I
life
think that's
now.
you. That's kind of like, because you know you're like half Hindu.
I quit.
Half Hindu, half Catholic.
I did not understand that one bit.
So are some of your
I was a
beliefs,
good
like, from the
person in
Hindu?
hell.
No, because like a good person mentally, like you can be a good person, but mentally you
Can
are in
experience the
hell. Like
worst
your
things,
life, like your mind is like not in a good place, but you're a
Yeah.
good person, and you.
So like you're going through like bad times.
Yes,
Yeah,
also
it's like
people-
bad things happen to
and,
good people.
Yeah,
That's what
and
you're
it's
saying.
also, but it's also the way you
okay.
think
Yeah, all right.
about your life. You can be a good person, but constantly be in stress, constantly be in this, that, because that's just the state you're stuck in. That is hell. To live your life
Okay.
that way is hell. But to live your life in peace and you accept everything and this happened for a reason and whatever, that's peace. That is heaven.
It's crazy how we've come full circle.
I'm glad you elaborated because that initial statement. I was like,
yo,
wait
do
a
you
minute.
pray?
She prays.
I
No,
pray.
you. Do you pray?
Do I pray?
Yeah.
Of course.
And do you say Father, Son, Holy Spirit,
I do
Amen?
not. I'm not Catholic.
Oh, okay. Well, Amen is across all religions, pretty much.
Yes.
The term Amen.
Yes.
But yeah, so you don't use that or not?
I don't say in the name
Okay,
of the
okay.
Father, Son,
Okay,
and
cool.
Holy Spirit. No, that's Catholic.
We don't say amen.
Right, because Hindu is the first religion.
Yeah.
So it's before they.
Hindu is not the first religion.
What's the first religion?
It goes as far as from what I can tell. Like probably we had actually like Muslim already.
But it's the
informing us
oldest
about
modern religion.
this. Zoroastrian is, I think, one of the oldest.
Sorry, I mean like religions that have lasted
Till this day?
till now. Yeah.
Like out of all the popular religions on earth, it's the
Guys,
like oldest modern religion.
Y'all
that's
gonna get me
still
in
going on.
trouble.
It's true though. It is the oldest religion.
I was like,
Everyone can believe what they want to believe, and that's okay.
Okay, I was gonna ask. So, like, since you're half Hindu, like, do some of your beliefs about like hell and heaven on earth stem from something like that?
Well, no, honestly, like neither of my parents ever grew up religious. My
Right.
mom always told me that we come from Mother Nature,
Which is-
and
but
that's
that's-
what my dad said too.
that's
Like
what I'm
we
saying.
come from Mother Nature, which is like God. Just
Right.
like
That's
people
what my
have
mom
different words
says,
for
too.
God, right?
Yeah.
So Mother
Like,
Nature is a word
When my
for God.
mom would want me to pray, it was to earth or like to
yeah,
the
I pray to
universe.
God all the time,
Like,
and I
not
say
really to
God. But when
Right.
I was younger, I said Mother Nature,
Right.
or I said God.
I used to say
kinda
Mother
use
Nature
them
too because I
interchangeably.
felt
Let me ask you a question. You pray to Mother Nature. You're in Thailand. A tsunami happens. You're gonna be like, Mother Nature, save me.
Well, who created the tsunami? Did God create it?
No, I'm just asking.
No, I'm
And what are you?
asking
And are you gonna pray to God
Like,
if
are
a
you
fucking
gonna pray to
tsunami
God?
comes?
Yes, because God made that tsunami according to everything too.
No,
Just
God
like
did
Mother
it.
Nature created
But
that.
Mother
tsunami.
Nature probably did.
Okay, so if Mother Nature and God are both real, and they're two separate things.
Yeah, that
Nature-
can't be.
But
They
it's not.
can't. They
It's
can't be
entity, it's the
separate. Yeah.
universe
Nature-
is God.
Nature does what it wants to do.
But nature is
regardless of-
God.
Yeah, because
created
God created
nature.
everything.
Nature is
God
God.
also
God is
created
everything.
The devil.
God is
Does that mean the
everything.
devil is God?
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Devil is God.
Why'd you pick Thailand for a tsunami though?
Yeah, I'm trying to go there in September. You're tripping me out.
Yeah, man.
That's not the
Maybe
place you.
don't go.
Yeah.
You can pick like Japan.
Yeah,
Like,
man, I was just thinking about crazy
Hawaii.
scenarios.
No, in the end though, like with religion, like I think you just asked me what I believe, and I said what I believe. I think I and everyone should still at the same time like respect everyone's religion and
Oh, for
beliefs.
sure.
And if someone is adamant about something, back off.
You know, it was
like,
hard
that's
for me
their
to get
belief.
to that point. Like, as when I was young, I used to argue with kids so much. Like,
Yeah.
I had like a really Christian kid in my school when I was like in grade 3, and I used to fight with him about gay people and be like, "So what about gays? Like, God made gay people. Are they going to hell?" And he'd be like, "God put people on earth to make a choice. They made the wrong choice. Like, they're going to hell." And I used to like just fight people all the time in school and be like, "God's not real. Like, you guys are stupid. Like, Santa Claus is real." And I would just go crazy.
You don't believe in Santa?
Yeah, that's
Or you
sorry,
didn't?
that's a different, no, yeah, when I
I
realized,
was like,
no.
yo, does she still believe
I
this?
know. No, yeah, when I
you
was like,
didn't when you were
yeah,
a kid?
9, 10, like that's when I like,
Yeah.
stopped. So then, yeah, I used to fail people, but then like as I got older, I realized like you just have to have respect for everything because it's true. And some people they have religion for reasons that like they're so personal to them. Like you said, they could have almost died, they could have almost killed themselves, they have someone in their life who passed, and like you need that to help you, and like I respect that. It's something good innately. So
I also think like at the same time, like 90% of our history, we don't even know.
Oh yeah, for
You know?
sure.
But I do think
I
there's
hear
people
that.
in our
Don't know
world that know. Like I think there's like people in the Vatican that have had bloodlines in humanity
Yeah.
for like 10,000 years or so. I think they know a lot,
Yeah.
and we don't.
Yeah.
We
And
don't know
we think
anything,
we
yeah.
know a lot more than we do,
yeah,
which makes us stupider.
exactly. We were just talking about this.
Dunning-Kruger
The more you
effect.
think you know,
The less you know.
the stupider you are. Yeah.
The more you think you know, the less you
Yeah.
actually know.
When you
Yeah.
accept that
Religion's
you are not
When,
knowledgeable on
when
something,
you
You
know,
know what I think?
that you don't know,
that-
then you know.
then you're smart. Yeah.
I think
that makes sense.
if the world was truly ending during the eclipse, a lot of people would have had shit to explain, bro.
I'd be gone, bro.
My God,
I would for
damn,
sure be
bro,
gone.
like holy shit. But listen, guys, we are all one. At the end of the day, believe in Santa Claus, believe in Mother
Tooth
Nature,
fairy, everything.
believe in the Tooth Fairy. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, just be a good person.
Yeah, yeah.
And love one another. You know, be
Love yourself.
of course, that's part of it. You gotta love yourself before you truly love
Yeah.
another person. But yeah, man, this has been a really insightful podcast. I gotta say.
There's a lot of opinions out here.
But yeah, we'll leave it here. Thank you guys so much for
Of course,
hopping on
man.
the pod.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you
Thank
for
you
having
always,
us.
Yeah,
bro.
thank you.
No
Kill it
way.
all the time, Prophett.
Like,
Yeah.
goddamn.
Always.
Yo, we're finna blow up after this.
No, for sure.
More panels, yeah. We'll get the Shay. We'll bring a bunch of girls.
Yeah, nah, for sure. We're finna blow up after this one. All right, guys, you already know what it is, man. It's your man Prophett, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.